Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the newest episode of the Theater Enthusiast podcast. I am so delighted to welcome our next guest. She recently found out I too went to Pace University, as she did for a hot second, because she was like, she's so super talented. She left to do a national tour of The Sound of Music. What? Who are you? She's laughing. I'm looking at my microphone like it's a person. I literally said that to my microphone. Like she's laughing. Anyway.
Oh my God, that makes me think of a story. Taking note of a
Oh, okay,
story.
okay.
Okay.
So let me like finish my intro of you. I said, I don't know what my intro of you is going to be. She's like, say I'm a human. So she's a human being living on planet Earth. You will
Oh, thank
also
you.
most likely know her from being the understudy alternate of the last, I can't even speak English, last revival of My Fair Lady, which I cannot wait to talk about, by the way, because Bart Scher is my favorite Broadway director. Also, the
He's
Vivian Bell
wonderful.
is my favorite Broadway house. So we're gonna get into it, and I'm excited about that. What else can we
Can't
say?
wait.
Oh, also last seen in a Little Night Music concert, right? Yes, she's a boss.
Yeah.
Anyway, without further ado, Kirsten Anderson. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Hi. I'm clapping for myself.
I think
Hi.
you can clap for yourself. I always like encourage people to be like, "Yeah, I'm here." Whoop, what? I used to have an
Whoop whoop.
applause app. Whoop, whoop. I used to have an applause app, and then because of Zoom, like people couldn't use
Oh,
it anymore, so I took it off my phone.
that
And
makes
then
sense.
somebody said to me once, they're like, "You don't use it for yourself?" And I was like, "I honestly never thought about that."
I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
A
Oh, I
little
just like
applause
put
up.
on
That's
music in the
amazing.
morning when I'm getting ready. Mostly, it's usually the cast recording of Stereophonic because I listen to that cast recording an unhealthy amount of times. It sometimes it's twice in one day. It's like every
Yeah.
day, twice in one. Like I'm currently
Yeah.
listening to it right now, actually.
Oh my
Not
God,
like
I love
while I'm
that.
talking to you, but like on
For
my way
sure.
home from
Just like
work.
one ear.
Yeah, and I'm like singing Bright and Domino, walking through
Oh.
Central Park.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you find that you feel that way with music in general? I have like magnet songs. Like if I like something, I'll listen to it a lot of times in a row. Just kind of live my life that way. Is that true, or is this
Well,
specific to stereophonic?
I think it's like a fixation on something. You know how like people have
Sure.
like hyper fixation meals. I'll also
Yeah.
like like there was a period of time like I was just like because I saw Niall Horn in concert in June and it was fucking
Must
incredible.
have been great.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was so good. And we got those tickets like over a year ago, my friends and I.
Oh,
So
wow.
I all I did was just like listen to Niall Horan for like a month and a half. And then I'm seeing this band who like nobody has ever heard of, which is very upsetting to me, called Keen.
Oh, I know Keen. Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing at Radio City on Tuesday. So I
Oh,
think,
cool.
yeah, I think that's going to be like my next and I've already said to
Love.
everyone, and I've announced it on my Instagram. I apologize to anybody who has to deal with me after that concert because I'm going to be so insufferable.
I love that.
Yeah.
I got that way with like Noah Kahn.
Mm.
I was pretty on repeat with the northern attitude. That makes sense. I mean, I'm from Vermont, and so is
He's
he.
from Vermont?
We like to rep our people. He is, yeah. He's
Okay.
from I think he's from the White River Junction area.
That means nothing to me. I don't know Vermont very well,
Yeah.
but for those listening, if you do know where that is,
Just feel proud of yourself
yeah,
if you know where that
just
is.
be proud that somebody knows, like a Long Islander lives in
There you
Manhattan,
go.
doesn't know Vermont, but
That's
someone
fine.
from Vermont does. There you go.
There you go.
There
Yeah.
you go.
But
So I always
yeah,
start with like, where are you from? So clearly you're from Vermont.
I am.
Yes. And
Yep, Burlington, Vermont.
you had a sabbatical in Ireland?
Oh my
Is that
God, yes. My dad was, at the time, he was a physics professor, and he took a sabbatical from his professing and taught at the University of Galway instead of. So we moved there for a year when I was really little. Yeah, when I was like 4.
and that's kind of what like inspired you to act was seeing your sister in a show? You're
You know
freaking out
so
right
much
now.
about my life. This is so fun.
No, I just find
Um,
it so funny when people are like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Do you don't think I do research on people before they come onto my podcast?"
I guess I'm going like, who of my friends did she talk to? Who knows this information?
You want to know where I actually got this information from?
Oh God,
Ready?
I don't know. Do
Are you ready? Wikipedia.
I? Oh no, that's
Yeah.
terrifying. Ah!
You also, I don't know if
Okay.
you have access to your Wikipedia, but you need to update that headshot on Wikipedia because it's an old one.
Oh, I don't think you're allowed to. Isn't there a whole thing about like it can't be a first person source? Like I can't edit my own Wikipedia page?
I have no idea. I just, wow, like when I was in college, I did a production of Stop Kiss, and
Yeah,
somebody who worked on crew actually went into Wikipedia and put our production on Wikipedia for Stop Kiss. They eventually took it
that's
down, but it was
amazing.
on there for a hot
Oh,
second. Yeah,
maybe you can edit my page with a
yeah.
new picture.
Or somebody listening can. But you did send,
Dear gentle listeners.
dear gentle reader. I can't do Bruce. Dear,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't deign.
yeah, I wouldn't dame a dame.
Exactly.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
dare dame a dame.
Wow.
Yeah,
No, never.
yes. So,
Anyway, love Julie Andrews.
um,
Literally following her career.
yeah, you kind of are actually.
Yeah.
When are you doing Mary Poppins? You can tap dance.
Wild that you know these things about me.
On
That's
your
like a little bit.
resume.
Okay, that's true.
I can literally, I have your resume up just in case like I like brain fart on your stuff. But
My
no, it
gosh.
literally says
Oh, it says it on our
under
resume.
special skills, the first thing on there is tap dance.
Yeah.
So
It's
you,
because when you look at me, you just really don't think that that's true. And so I put it first.
I don't know. I mean, I was a cheerleader in seventh and eighth grade, so I think that surprises people more than like you being a tap dancer.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I
Because
love,
people are like, oh,
that's
you were?
amazing.
That's shocking. I was like, I know. But I can be peppy when I need to
Wow.
be. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
believe that.
So here's
Yeah.
my thing. I have two left. I cannot do a time step. If the day were to ever come,
Oh,
could you teach somebody how to do a time step?
I think so. Yeah.
If we ever meet, if I run into you, if I see you on 57th and 8th again with your headphones on,
Yeah.
I'll stop you on the street and be like, hey, time step, let's go.
Let's go right here, right now. If that happens, we have to film it for my like childhood dance teacher Doris O'Brien and Jem Pardon. They'll die. They'll be so happy. It'll make their day.
I just want to say, like, if anybody out there listens, because I've asked like two other people who have come on the podcast, do you think you would be able to teach me how to do a time step? And they're like,
Yeah.
absolutely. Nothing has ever come from it, but
Oh,
it's like ask the question, like, do you think you can teach me? Because I used to work at a dance studio and I had like 5-year-olds trying to teach me, and it just didn't, my body physically can't do it.
just can't do it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting. I think we can do it. I have
Oh,
faith.
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I feel confident.
Okay, good. I have confidence in oh, see, your Maria von Trapp is coming out.
It's showing. You know, I never sang that song.
Oh, because that's not in the original musical, right?
No. And the way it was told to me when we did the like tour, we got to sort of update some things. Like we didn't have to do Ordinary Couple, but we had to choose. We could either do I Have Confidence or Something Good. And obviously they chose Something Good.
I mean, that's, yeah, that, wow, that's like Sophie's choice, though.
Yeah. I will say I Have Confidence is really written for movies. Like
Mm.
it's written for big sweeping scenery, lots of travel, a variety of locations. It's really written for that versus like
National
storytelling
tour, yeah.
function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Sound of Music live?
Yes, that was like the first live musical, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, in college, yeah.
yeah. No, I just like, because I do a really good, what's her face? Carrie Underwood impression as Maria. Yes, sir. No, sir. I can never answer to a whistle, sir. Thank you. Yes. Yes, everyone. I do hold a degree in acting from Pace University, and here we
I'm
are.
very impressed. Excellent impression. This is like not the like the nicest story. It's slightly egomaniacal, but like
You can
somebody
be
came up to me.
egomaniacal. It's fine. Live your life.
Well, I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
my favorite thing to be. But somebody came up to me after it Sound of Music and they were like, "You're so much better than the movie." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love Julie Andrews. She's the best." And they were like, "No, no, no, Carrie Underwood." And I went, "Oh, thank you." Like I was like, couldn't, that one made more, just a little bit more sense to me,
Yeah.
but
No, not saying she was bad in it at all.
No, no, she wasn't bad at all.
I'm not here to bash people, and her
No.
role was on point. And who doesn't love
Yeah.
Laura Benanti and Christian Borle? Let's talk about
I
Christian
mean,
Borle and Peter Pan for a second. Can we say arms?
oh my, wow.
Live?
I did see it live, but I have to say that I'm not like having a clear memory. That didn't stick
Oh
out in
yeah,
my head.
yeah. My friends and I were
Arms.
like, his arms were wild.
Wait, because he was Smee?
He weighs Mr. Darling, and he was also Smee.
Right, right, right. So it's the Smee arms that we saw.
Oh yeah, they were
Okay.
delightful.
I
Yeah.
love it.
You can also
Two of
tell I'm
my,
tired because I'm like getting wacky. Sorry.
I love it. It's also just I feel like I also bring a little bit of wackadoodle energy.
Yeah.
But two of my friends met and are now married on Peter Pan Live. And so
Oh my God, that's
I'll have to go back and watch
amazing.
it. Yeah. Jason
I
Gauthier
also,
and Michael Hartung.
oh, that's so nice. Yeah, Jason Gauthier is going to be in Teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
Woohoo.
I had to get my ticket for that. I told Andy Carl I'd let him
Oh
know.
yeah, he's gonna be in it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know,
Not
I'm
to,
so excited. Did you
yeah,
see it at Playwrights?
I did not
Okay.
because I forgot it was a thing. But I'm also like not to name drop on my podcast, but I like, just interviewed Andy Carl and the episode came out. So and he's going into the show and we talked about it a little bit. So it's like I have to go see it now. No big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait to hear your thoughts. It's like totally fantastic and wild and like bold and wonderful, and everybody in it is giving a bajillion percent. Like everybody's living. I totally enjoyed it. It was great.
Are you gonna go and see it again, or are you gonna
I will probably go again. Yeah, I don't know.
not to
I'm
put you
not
on?
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, not to like be
really,
like
really.
you just like see it again. Like I don't know if I want to. No, I get it.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
also the thing about the show we were talking about before we started. Not to name
Uh
drop
huh.
the one that you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could sit through it again.
Mm, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Who knows? Things might change. Anyway, let's get back to you because we went off topic and I rambled for what feels like 45 minutes. So, um, speaking of Peter Pan, you did play Peter Pan in high
I
school.
did. Oh
And you
yeah.
also like celebrate. Is that like one of your favorite things that you've done? Because I've noticed on like some social posts, you'll post like very specific like theater things, like Piazza,
Oh
which
yeah.
we'll talk about, and Peter Pan and Sound of Music and My Fair Lady.
I do think it was a super formative like show in my youth. Like to do Peter Pan as a teenager just felt like really exciting. It was like a lot of responsibility. It was probably like the first because it was for community theater, which like the community theater in Vermont, they use the same space that the touring companies go to. So it's like it's
Yeah.
Vermont. It's not huge, but it's like, 1,300 seat theater. It's called the Flynn. And it was like, I don't know, I felt responsibility to do a really good job and people were buying tickets and, it was our community, not just like our high school, that kind of thing. So I think it felt very formative in that way. And I got to fly, which was very cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, like,
Yeah.
let's backtrack a little bit. When did you decide, like, I want to perform? I love
Oh
doing,
my gosh.
I want to do like
Right.
all of the things.
You're so good at this because I do think that's the point at which we got sidetracked, which is my sister is very shy, and when we lived in Ireland, they put her in these like after school camps to try to help her make like friends and do fun things and bring her out of her shell a little bit. And one of them was these sort of like skit theater things, like they would like reenact Rugrats episodes and things like that. And
That's incredible.
yeah,
So
isn't
I
that
just
wild?
hope they like didn't have somebody like in a diaper though.
No.
Okay.
Okay, my memory is
No.
bad because I was 4, but I
Okay.
don't think they did. I
Is
think
this
they
an
were like
older
just in their
sister or younger?
older sister.
Older.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 2 years older. Yeah, yeah. So then when we got back to the States, because I was like just about it, they were trying to help us reintegrate into the States again, and they put us both in like theater to meet people and make friends, and I loved it. Yeah, I don't know. I just always loved it. And then I just met such wonderful people along the way in theater, and that just like helps, like I love doing it, and then also the people I was doing it with were so incredible that I just never wanted to leave. Kept doing it.
And here we are today, still doing it with like amazing people and all
How
of
stupid lucky are we? It's so insane.
I mean, I'm not pursuing it, but I have friends who, I'm a huge theater nerd and all the good things.
Yes.
It's nice to be like, I know people though. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but and also you are not pursuing. I mean, you've done lots of things within the community that sound incredible. I was
Yeah,
just
but
hearing about them.
it's been a minute. But I mean, I just like I have the podcast, which I love doing, and I get to meet people like
Yeah.
you and interview people and like yeah, I cried on a podcast once to somebody. So that was a moment.
There you go. I love that. Why
Yeah,
not?
thank you. Thank you.
Turns
Uh,
out people have emotions and feelings.
Yeah, so you were performing throughout high school. So what made
Yeah.
you decide on Pachem Pace University?
Yes. What made me decide on pace? I had studied at Circle in the Square between my junior and senior years of high school. I did their little summer program.
Yeah.
And so I tested the New York waters, like in terms of, do I like it here? Can I
Mhm.
spend like extensive amounts of time here, not just like visit for a couple of days?
Mhm.
And the answer was yes. And then I was looking at not a bunch, but a couple other schools, like in particular, honestly, Otterbein, because I just thought that their program was incredible. But I couldn't really see myself. I was so desperate for something more. And I just really wanted to be somewhere not super small towny, because that's just where I grew up. And Otterbein is in a small town in Ohio. And so I felt like pace sort of aligned with where I wanted to go. And like the lame answer is like I felt wanted by pace. And so it's nice to go where you're wanted.
Yeah. So you only spent 2 years at Pace, right? You never went back to get your degree?
No,
That
nope.
that's fine. That's on Wikipedia too. Um,
College dropout Kirsten Anderson.
but I think you're doing okay. I
Yeah,
think you're doing just fine. I mean, you could listen, Matt Damon never finished his degree at Harvard, and I think he's
so there.
okay. Like
Yeah.
Matt Damon can do it. I think you're fine. Um, so
Never been mentioned in the same sentence with Matt Damon ever before, and I doubt it will happen again.
listen, I've been mentioned many times with Matt Damon, so it's okay. Well, the reason being is because I was featured on his Inside the Actors Studio because I asked him a question.
Oh my God, that's so cool!
Yeah. So
Wow. I have to go back and watch that now.
I don't know where you can find the episodes. I actually like Googled it the other night and I have no idea where you can find them.
They're not on YouTube.
Not his episode. Or I mean like his Q&A is, but like the
Open
questionnaire
at the
that
whole.
he asked. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Bummer. Damn.
so you get to Pace and you also did Lysistrata Jones at Pace, right?
I did. I understudied
I
in Lysistrata.
You did? Were you in the ensemble or were you just the understudy?
Just the understudy.
That's a bit. Well, I have a special place in my heart for Lysistrata because I did merch. I used to do Broadway merch, and that was one of the shows I merched. I ended up co-merch managing with it with someone.
Ooh.
So like I know
Oh,
Lysistrata like fairly well. I still
super
have
well.
the Lysistrata like stress basketballs, and I have the hoodie.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Wait, I love that. Yeah, that was a blast.
It's a really
That
fun.
was, I understudied Maggie Anderson. She was playing Lysistrata, and then Kirsten Anderson was her understudy.
I'm like,
But I think it's so fun.
"Ooh."
Oh yeah, I don't know if she's still in the theater world, but
Yeah,
just last name wise, I thought that was so fun.
we're related, but we're not.
Yeah.
Did they give you a performance to do? Because I know that they would always give the understudies a performance. What?
No, I did not
Well,
get a
things
performance.
have changed.
Yeah, that was fine. She was sick in rehearsal and I had to do one of the run throughs.
Mhm.
And I for sure had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I was like, I knew all the songs, but like I just didn't. I was kind of like, I have to be able to do it. I don't know. It just like didn't click in my brain. Thank God I had that experience since I went on to
I was
do
going
more
to say,
understanding. But
I
like,
weirdly click for you with My Fair Lady, but we'll get into that because I
yeah.
want to talk about one of my all-time favorite musicals of all time, Light in the Piazza. And I've mentioned this on the podcast before, if I ever just feel like I need to cry, I will listen to the overture of Piazza. And then there's that moment in Fable, I feel like I'm gonna cry now, when she goes, Clara, the light and the and like that gets to me.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's my
Yep.
favorite musical. I saw the reunion concert that they did, cried throughout the entire second act.
Oh
And
my
then I
God.
saw it at City Center, and
I saw it at City Center too.
I almost didn't go to City Center, and then I did, and I'm happy I did. And then I emailed
Yeah.
Gish, and I was like, "That's the best." Well, to get him on the podcast, I was like, "That was the best version of "Love to Me" I have ever heard sung in my life."
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and I,
Beautiful.
like convulsed to his face about how great he was in that. And
Oh,
then like again, I'm just like name dropping on my podcast, like who I've had on, and then like Shireen was on. I was like, "Let's talk about Piazza," and how it was,
yes.
and how I almost didn't see it, but I decided to go.
Yes, she was one. I thought she was fantastic.
Fucking
Shireen's
incredible.
phenomenal. Yeah, we shared a dressing room on My Fair Lady, and I just adore her. Yeah, I mean, come on. I just think that score is stunning. I agree with you. Sometimes if it comes on shuffle, like in my music, and it's the overture or a song, it'll like stop me dead in my tracks, like on the
Yeah.
street. It's arrestingly beautiful. I would love to do it again. I'm getting too old, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. I'm just progressing through the
I'll tell
characters.
you what, like, give it, I can wear stage makeup and I'll play,
Okay.
what's her face? The mother, Margaret,
Margaret.
because
Okay.
I'm older and not by much though, but
No, not by much.
yeah, thank you. I moisturize. Or I can play like strong, who's the Italian mom?
Oh yeah. Fabrizio,
I
he
look,
thinks he
yeah.
wants to. I don't know.
He thinks he ruined everything.
Signoria.
Yes, Signorina Nagarelli.
Macaroni. Yeah.
Nagarelli.
Signoria.
Yeah.
Signora?
Senora, yeah, I don't know. This is terrible that we're both like, we
I
love
know.
Piazza. We can't even
I don't know
I
the characters' names.
I'm just blaming it
Yeah.
on like a long week. And
But I
sorry.
could sing you pretty much every note of that
Oh,
score.
I
Like
sing it in the
it's
shower
everything.
all the time.
Ah,
Yeah.
perfect. It's
My dream,
perfect.
I mean, I am not an ingenue, but my dream roles have been ingenues, and like one of them is like Clara and Piazza. And
Oh,
I
it's
can't
perfect.
I can sing Beauty is, but I can't sing Light in the Piazza, which is very weird.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
I bet that I don't believe you, and I bet that you can sing both.
Thank you. We'll do a voice lesson.
Perfect. Yeah. I have this like I have a sort of running theory that the roles that I play like generally teach me something. Like I learned something from all of the characters I played, and Clara's was like really about like delight in small observation.
Mhm.
And I love her. I love Clara. I mean, she's one of my just favorite character. I don't know. I just love her. And man, a Gettle score. Cannot wait for Floyd Collins.
But like not also a Gettle score, but like let's talk about who directed you in that. Um,
What a insane gift,
mhm.
Madam Victoria Clark
Yeah,
herself,
the Tony
Tony
for
Award winner.
Tony Award winner for Piazza, and like rightfully.
Yeah,
Did you see Kimberly Akimbo?
I did. Yeah.
I was telling people, I'm like, I forgot how old, like, you think like she's that age, and then she opens her mouth to sing, and then you realize, like, oh, it's
Right. Oh, that's Victoria Clark. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, just
She's
stunning.
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited for her to, I mean, obviously she is a unbelievably gorgeous singer, a beautiful, beautiful actor, a wonderful human being. But I am so excited for her to keep directing. It's one of my favorite experiences with a director was having her. And I did a workshop of a thing she was working on after that. That experience was incredible. She's doing Love Life at City Center.
Oh,
I'm so excited for her and what will hopefully become her directing career. And she's just phenomenal. She's just beautiful at it. And
yeah.
obviously speaks to actors so wonderfully. And so there's my pitch. Anybody looking for Vicky Clark to direct something?
There you go.
Do it.
Well, I think it's interesting too because a lot of like actor, I don't know why I'm using parentheses, but like a lot of like, like movie stars, they say that sometimes like the best directors were actors first because
Yeah.
they're in that position, so they know how to talk to people and they know what it's like to be an actor and to be a performer. Do you kind of find that with like some directors that you've worked with? Because you've worked with like some pretty great people.
I know. God, it's so insane. I do actually. I think she was just so she worked so she had such a deft hand about everything. She would say like two words to me and I'd be like, got it. Like I knew exactly what she just is so in tuned with people. And yeah, I think it does come from her
Mhm.
career as being an actor. I think she knows how to speak it to fellow actors in a way that makes sense to us and doesn't feel confusing or demeaning or yeah, it was I think it did definitely is informed by her being an actor.
So, how did The Sound of Music come to you? Did you in at school, did you have an agent? Where because I know it's like when I went to Pace, they prided themselves on being able to audition outside of the school. So I don't know if that was still because again, I graduated before you started. Um, I don't know if that was
Uh,
a thing when you started, if that was allowed, or like how did that come to you?
yeah.
And I mentioned like, did you have agents? Because then you started laughing. Like,
Oh yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
Well, I started laughing because
No.
I my acting teacher brought her manager to see Light in the Piazza at
Mhm,
Pace. And through that, I started working with him
mhm.
and he got me the audition for Sound of Music. And honestly, like the silly truth of the matter is it came across my email. I don't know. It came to me and I was kind of like, I don't know, Sound of Music. I don't know that this really like lights my fire. I'm from Vermont. We have the Trapp Family Lodge. I grew up watching the movie. Like, I don't know, guys. And they were like, okay, like really skeptical because I was just an idiot. Like, I didn't like know enough to be like, like it's being directed by Jack O'Brien. It's like Andy, like all these amazing people were working on it. And they were like, think they did a round of auditions and I don't know, it came across again and they were like, just go in. And I was like, okay. And so I went in. I was on summer vacation at that point, but like just beginning. I was coming from visiting my grandparents. I had like one dress. I like wore my glasses. I went into this call that had like Rachel Hoffman and maybe Matt Lenz, maybe the associate director in it. And yeah, I don't know. I went in and I sang and they were like, just wait outside, which to me felt like bad news when I was hearing it. Didn't feel like good news. And then Rachel came out and said like, come back tomorrow and don't wear your glasses. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I sort of thought I was in trouble, but that obviously was good news. And then
Yeah.
from there, it's, 100 more auditions and then I had it.
Yeah. Do you remember what you sang?
I, it must have been The Sound of Music. It was from the show. I didn't have to sing my own
Okay.
song.
Okay.
Is that true? I think that's true.
It's almost 10 years ago, actually. Or was it 10 years ago?
I started at Pace almost 10 years ago.
Hold on.
Um,
Continue talking. I'm just going to mute myself because I'm coughing up a lung.
oh no, sorry.
Okay. Sorry. I'm
Um,
good.
okay.
I'm so sorry. I told you
Oh
I'm like in the midst of like getting a cold, but like having one, getting over it because I've been taking like Advil cold and sinus.
yeah, yeah. Are you do you do any homeopathic remedies or do you stick to sort of over the counter
I'm
situations?
like, oh, I'm gonna take some vitamin C and vitamin
Okay,
D and like drink some orange juice. Oh, I'm not better. Let me take some Advil cold and sinus. Yeah, because
gotcha. You've got your remedy.
yeah, I used to like I said to myself sometimes, I was like, I feel like shit. I'm like, why am I not taking anything to feel better? You know?
Yeah,
And like
you
I
don't
don't
need
want
to
to fall out
suffer.
of
It's
work
fine.
sick, you know?
Yeah,
Although I
totally.
almost was like today, I was like, I don't know if I have a fever, but I'm it's
Yeah.
just being dramatic.
No, it's a bummer when you don't feel good and you can't like you're it's just that's a bummer. Things are harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I always say like to people who are, as you had said earlier, like to muggles, I'm like, oh, talk to a musical theater actor
Oh no,
if you want to
we'll talk
get
about it. We'll talk
better
about it.
quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it. So, hold on, let me get my like fake cigarette as a pen.
Yeah.
Uh, so I told you like I go 20 different directions sometimes
I
with
love
it.
it.
So
Same.
also this is a curious thing too. So what was it? God, there's so many questions coming into my head now because we're talking about like, well, no, I'm trying to tie it all together because you're
You're
leading
nailing it.
a national tour as like a well, not to age you,
No,
but a
please.
very young person.
I thought you were going to age me. Yes, as a very young person.
I mean, if you go on your Instagram, you age yourself, and I age myself on my
Yeah.
Instagram, so it's fine.
I
Um,
feel no qualms about it. I turned 21 on the road and I just turned 30.
hey girl,
Hey, what's
cheers,
up?
cheers, boom.
Cheers.
Yeah, hot priest mug, plant lady mug.
Hot
How's
priest
your
mug, that's so good. I was just talking about this monologue, that monologue that's right before Neil, where she's like, I want someone to tell me what to wear in the morning.
I just got excited.
I'm
I
unwell.
I have a I have a hot priest Jesus candle that I used to light for my podcast. Every
I'm
time somebody
obsessed.
would come on. And then I was interviewing somebody, and because I lit it so much, like I couldn't get
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't get it to light anymore.
You,
So
you needed a long one,
I
a
have
long
a long
lighter.
one of those as a
Ah.
lighter, but I just would so yeah.
Oh,
I remember telling that to an actor, and he's like, "He's not blessing our podcast." I'm like, "It's here. That's what matters."
yeah,
So for those
exactly.
listening, I do have my hot priest mug because I would always used to say like the hot priest candle is lit, or I'll have like a photo of that. So like the hot
I'm
priest has been
obsessed.
like a staple of the podcast. And then
Ugh.
last, like this last, I don't remember when my friends and I went to Symphony Space. We saw Josh Horowitz do Happy, Sad, Confused with Andrew Scott and Claire Foy. And I like posted on my podcast Instagram, like, if you have listened to the podcast, you will know how big of a deal it is right now that like Andrew Scott. So
I got it bad for him, and in all the ways.
yeah.
I have the biggest actor crush on him. I have the biggest, just in general, crush on
He
him.
is one man Vanya with National Theater Live.
I no, you saw it. You saw it like the recorded version.
Yes, I didn't see it live. I wish. It
Ugh.
was probably one of the most like incredible performances. And he has that
I gotta
scene where
watch
he's
it.
playing the character, like confessing to Yelena how he's in love with her. And it's just like a close up on his face. And it's as though he's talking to you. And I'm just like, I feel so many feelings that are so
Oh.
inappropriate to say on the podcast.
Unwell. We'll
I,
categorize it as
I
unwell.
felt unwell in that moment. And I was just
Uh,
like, and I tried to see it again, but it was sold out and I couldn't get a ticket.
yeah,
And I like pray that like he comes back or like they bring that back to Broadway or they bring it to
yeah.
Broadway. But they just did Uncle Vanya, which I unfortunately missed at Lincoln Center. And
Same. I
Andrew
didn't get to
Scott,
see it.
he's just busy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's got. I mean, would do anything to have him on Broadway, but I feel like
Yeah.
he's doing.
Has been on
He's
Broadway though.
fancy.
But what's so interesting was for my 30th birthday years ago, um,
Not that many.
my friends and I went to London and Paris, and when we were in London, his version of Hamlet was playing. And that was before like he even knew who he was. And I said to my
Totally.
friend, like, I just can't sit through another production of Hamlet. I can't do it. And like if I knew then what I knew now, because also that production had Jessica Brown Finley in it. It had Lily
Oh
Thompson
wow.
in it as Laertes. It had fucking Juliet Stevenson in it. Like it had this it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, that
I'm
production.
gonna. I
It's
mean, I know that one clip of him doing To Be or Not to Be, Inside It Out.
yeah,
Anytime it comes across my any sort of feed, I watch it incessantly. It's just fucking brilliant. It's
he's
ridiculous.
incredible. Yeah, and he was on like Colbert talking about how he's like, I don't feel like you should edit Shakespeare or make it small. But I will say the best production of Hamlet I have ever seen, though, was Eddie Izzard.
That you've seen or that he said that?
No, that I've seen. Because Eddie
Oh,
Izzard did
okay.
like the he did
Yes.
one man Great Expectations last year, which
Yeah.
London because I missed New York. And then
I didn't see any of it.
yeah, he did Hamlet. He did it at the Orpheum Theater and it was fucking incredible.
Okay, that's got to be recorded too, then, right?
I have no idea. But I think they're
Okay,
going on
I gotta
tour
find it.
with like a comedy show. I don't know. It
Are
was
they?
yeah, oh my God. I was like, no offense to the last Hamlet I saw, which was at the Shakespeare in the Park production. Like this Hamlet with Eddie Izzard was baller.
Yeah. Oh, Hamlet. Was that recorded for PBS? Yeah.
Which one? The
The one
Shakespeare
that
in the
Nick was in?
yeah.
Yeah. For
I
a second,
actually
I was
like,
like, was that Hamlet or was that something else?
you
But
know
it's
what?
good
I
to know.
actually liked it better on PBS. The reason I think I liked it
Mm.
more was because I was able to concentrate on it more.
Yeah, 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 for sure. There's
Yeah.
like less distraction. Did you see the Julius Caesar that happened in the park?
Oh, I did.
Me too. And I feel like it makes me so happy that I saw that one.
I also think Corey Stoll is so effing sexy. Think,
So good.
why are we not best friends? Right?
Everybody mark your calendars. It happened right here, right now.
If you're talking about Corey
BFFs.
Stoll, daddy that he is. I did see him in the Scottish play though, as well, and
Ah.
with his wife, and I saw him in Appropriate, and he's so hot.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Um,
see appropriate.
so-
Yeah, I heard. I know. I really dropped the ball.
I got to see it because a friend of mine was doing she was doing wardrobe, she was a dresser, so she actually
Oh,
gave me
cool.
a ticket for final dress
Nice.
rehearsal.
Oh, cool. I love a final dress. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that was like the last, have I been to other final dresses? I'm sure I have. I can't think of them.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
fun. There's just like a weird energy to them. I saw Marilee's final dress or invited dress,
Mm.
and there's just like it's kind of spooky. It's not quite, it's like, it's ready, but it's not quite I don't know.
Yeah.
I just love it. The
Well, I
energy
also
around
think
it.
like final dress is just like the theater community coming to support, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's always fun.
It feels special. Yeah. You're like, go friends, go. And even if you don't know them, it's like, go friends, go.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're 20 years sidetracked. Let's move back.
I know. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay. I told you we get sidetracked. We talked about books for 20 minutes, somebody and I. Like,
Totally.
yeah,
I'll be of no help in that department. I'm a wanderer. I'm a tangent person.
it's all good. I thought you were gonna be like, I don't read books. I'm not a big book reader either. Um, so pace, sound and music, we were talking about like remedies and stuff, but
Oh
leading
yeah.
a national tour. So let's talk about that and we'll get into the remedies and like all of that, like how to stay
Yeah.
for I a young age of 20, like
Yeah,
that kind of
21,
being
yeah.
like, or 2021, kind of being like your first, was that like your first big like thing?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
was that like? And working with Jack O'Brien, and you had,
Yeah.
oh my God, Ashley Brown, and saying the name
Yeah,
right,
Ashley Brown. Yeah.
OG Poppins, um, Broadway Poppins, and you had Ben Davis, and like you had this like, what
Yeah,
was that like?
insane group of people. I mean, amazing. Like it was unbelievable. I I would give anything to go back and do it again because
Mhm.
I just know so much more now. I feel like I was so scared of letting people down by being the choice
Mhm.
that I was just locked into like people pleaser mode, and I like, I could control very few things, and like one of them was my ability to do the show, and the other was like if I was a good person or not, like to people. And I was like locked in on those two things. I almost never went out that often. Like I was so petrified of calling out of the show. My grandmother passed away like early days. We've opened in LA, and she passed away while we were there. And I went into stage management, was like, I don't know what to do. And they were like, you go to the funeral. Like we have a thing called bereavement. Like I just like had no idea about any of that. But I think I was just trying to be a sponge and absorb everything that was coming at me. Jack is a brilliant director, and he had all of these like he would just go on these speeches that were incredible and impassioned, and all these like hand gestures. I just have so many memories of that. And he was so kind to me and so gentle with me, and letting who I was inform the way that Maria would be, and wanting that instead of trying to make me into something that I wasn't. And I loved the way he went about that production, and then to be with such well-rounded and consummate professionals, Ashley Brown, Ben Davis, Merwin Ford was on that tour. Yeah, just incredible. It was such a gift. It was insane. Can't believe they let me do that.
What was the phone call or like your reaction to when you found out you got the part?
Oh man, I was at I had done my final callback, And I was at lunch with my manager at the time, and he got a phone call from Rachel, and he was like, "Oh, okay. Do you want to tell her?" And hands me the phone, and she tells me over lunch. I didn't eat a single thing that day. I just was like, "This is crazy." And I remember like telling my dad. I don't know if I told him that I was in. I must have told him that I was in Final Callbacks at that point. At that point, I was still sharing all of my like audition information with my parents. Now they only find out if I've booked it. But I think he was like, okay. And he was a little bit worried. He didn't really know the difference between like equity and non-equity. And he was like worried that I was like giving up school for something that was like not super, you know,
Yeah.
helpful and, whatever. And then I told him like, I think I had him Google somebody, and then I told him what I would be making on tour. And he was like, oh, okay. This sounds legit. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. He'll probably hate that I said that. But then I was staying with my mom in Connecticut at the time, and she had fallen asleep by the time I got back to her place. And so I like woke her up, and I was like, Mom, I got it. But it was great. I mean, I was just ecstatic. It was wonderful. So exciting. And terrified. I was absolutely terrified.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think like being that young, like we don't, I mean, I'm still don't know things, but
No, I mean, I knew nothing, truly.
yeah. And do you think
Yeah.
that, like at the end of the tour, you're like, that was a huge learning lesson, or like,
Oh, massive.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, on so many levels, like you were saying, like 2021, like super formative years. And that way I felt like stepping into myself as like kind of an adult, as somebody who was, living their life outside of an educational institution. Like that's the first time since I was 4 that I would be doing that, right? Like not there's no classes, there's no
yeah,
somebody accountable for my whereabouts. I guess there's like stage management. If I didn't show up at the show,
yeah,
they might notice.
yeah,
But yeah, it was incredibly formative in that way, and like how to take care of myself. And yeah, I learned it. And as an actor too, you know, I had a period of time in the beginning where I was still so desperate to prove myself. I'd never done 8 shows a week, like
mhm,
for more than a week. I'd maybe done 8 shows of something, but never 8 shows for months and months. And I just remember like I don't remember thinking this, but I remember sort of the theory that in my life that like to prove I was doing, I still prove myself in some way. I still had to prove that I was working hard, that they didn't make the wrong choice, that I was good for the job. Like I still had to, I felt that in me. And so by the time they came to visit the first time, which would have been maybe like a month and a half after we opened, something like that, Jack sat me down and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Way too much. You're doing way too much." And he was like, "Just strip everything down and just like do the play that we did." And I was so confused because it didn't feel to me like I was adding on, because it felt as hard as it felt when I first started. But I was like learning how to do it well and continue, things get easier. They get put in your muscle memory, and then eventually like you can just do the show. But that was such a foreign concept to me that I thought if it felt easy, I wasn't working hard enough,
yeah,
if that makes sense. And so that he came back and sort of set my brain straight on that. And then it wasn't it. But that was a massive lesson,
yeah,
to be like, oh, right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. And then you were talking about remedies, like taking care of one's self. Yeah. I mean, flying all over the place and different temperatures and different allergens and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of oil of oregano. Do you
mm.
do any oil of
I have
oregano?
heard of it. I think like I I live. I don't want to say exactly where, but you know the
Yeah.
Westerly Natural
Yeah.
Market? Yeah, so they had at like one point like the oil of oregano thing, like the spray, and I
A
bought that.
spray.
Yeah.
Whew, how was that?
Disgusting.
Yeah, I can't imagine
And like you have to
spraying
like
it into
aim
my
it like
mouth.
the back of the throat. I think that's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa. That's wild.
How do you do it? Capsules?
I have like a little dropper of I put like a few drops on like a little like shot glasses worth of water, and I just down the hatchet.
Nice. So
Yeah.
anybody listening, oil of oregano.
Oil of oregano, wellness formula, black garlic,
Oh yeah, I know wellness formula. I always say that wellness formula smells like a dog biscuit dipped in alcohol.
Oh, interesting. I feel
Yeah,
like it smells like rotten wine. I get like weird grapeness. Yeah.
interesting.
Awful. It's
Well,
terrible.
if and when I
Miracle,
smell
miracle
it,
stuff.
yeah, and miracle stuff. If and when I smell it next, I'll try and think of grape wine,
Yeah.
and you're gonna think of
Terribly
a dog
sorry.
biscuit dipped in alcohol. Well, I
There you
did say
go.
alcohol, and wine is
Yes.
alcohol.
Oh,
So
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
yeah,
Maybe we're onto something there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll drink it
Crazy.
with wine, so it'll be like really.
Perfect. And then, of course, like sleep and water. Like,
Yeah.
never underestimate sleep and water. That's how, like, I only use the remedies when I'm like unwell, to use a term that I've apparently attached to. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So once the Sound of Music is over, what happens next for you?
Yeah. I left after like about a year and a half, just under a year and a half. And Charlotte Maltby came in and played Maria, which is so fun. Um, and I just felt ready to not be moving around a lot. Like I still really loved the show, but by that I think by that time I was 22, and I just felt like I wanted to put roots down somewhere, which is hilarious. But I wanted to have like my own my apartment with my friends, and I could
Yeah.
see my friends doing things that I wasn't able to do yet, and I was sad that I wasn't able to do them. I wanted to, have my 20s a little bit. So,
Yeah.
jokes on me, because then there was a giant pandemic during my 20s, but that's fine. I went home and
Listen,
did
the
like a bunch of.
pandemic ended and you were still in your 20s. Relax.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I
I
went
was
home and
telling you today, I was like, I miss the hair of my 20s. My hair was so good in my 20s, and now it's here.
it's here. It
Yeah.
looks great.
Thank you.
Listeners, it looks great.
Yeah, it's in a messy bun. But no, it used to be like really thick. My hair has like thinned out a little bit. It's more fine, but
Okay.
hair in my 20s was
Oh man, I would
excellent.
have killed for thick hair. I've always had just super fine hair. Like if I pulled it back in a ponytail, it would look like I was bald. Like it just
Oh
was
no.
fine blonde hair. Yeah, and of course that's probably my like teenage perception of what it looks like.
You
I don't
mean
know if
like
it
the
actually
photos
looked
I've
that way.
seen, your hair is great. So
Hey,
yeah,
it's
you
not
rock the
good.
bob very
Thanks.
well.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the one thing I took from Maria, the bob. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, there's some like great bob hair photos of you on your website.
Thank you. That's so
Yeah,
nice.
everybody should check out your website. There are great photos on there, especially the bob.
Stop.
Hey, listen, you're
Aw.
bobbing out with Cynthia Erivo, so like, hey,
Oh, I know. That was Cynthia's amazing. First of all, that was also I went to a I'm not even gonna say the name of the place. I went to get my hair cut, and I was like, "Will you just take off like a couple inches? I just want to be able to like tuck it under. It'll be great." And they're like, "Okay." And I was like, "Yeah, this." And they were like, "So like this?" And I was like, "No, no, like just a couple." And this person made a cut, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Guess we're having the shortest of bobs in this
oh
moment." It was
no.
horrifying. And I was the day before we opened for Lincoln Center's A Little Night Music. Or the concert version. I was like texting all of my friends. I was like, please, even if you don't believe it, like, please tell me this looks good. I just can't go into this thinking it looks bad. And I ended up loving it. It ended up being, I thought it was fine. But it was like one of those moments where I was like, what? You idiot, Kirsten. Why would you do that the day before? You
Yeah.
idiot.
I got a haircut. It takes a lot for me to get a haircut. Last time I got a haircut was like last October. Well, I mean, I got a haircut
Oh,
recently, but they took like 3 inches off, and I'm like, let's do short. I'll love it. I fucking hated it. It was like it was
oh,
here, but I just
yeah,
didn't like it. And I don't
yeah.
like all the short hair. I like a long hair.
There you go. I
Great
think you
thought.
gotta know what you like. That's great.
Yeah.
I will say that's also one thing that Peter Pan gave me because for community theater, I had to cut my hair. They gave me like a pixie cut, like a boy's pixie cut, and I was a
Do a
sophomore in high
wig.
school. Nope, no wig. They said they couldn't do a wig because of the flying. They were worried about it
Mm.
coming off and all of that. So
That
I
was
had
that was
like,
a choppy bot. That was a choppy cut.
yep. It was excellent for Peter Pan and so horrible for my like adolescent high schooler female self
Yeah.
in life. Yeah. Anyway, so truly, I mean, as much as I love doing that show, and just like it gave me lots of release when I think about cutting my hair. It's like it grows back. I survived that haircut. I'll survive all of them. It's gonna be fine. So that I'm grateful for.
I will say that I'm a huge Harry Styles fan. I love him. I adore him.
Yeah.
Mm, I love him. And
Every
everybody,
hairstyle on this planet.
yeah, everybody was like freaking out
Um,
that he cut his hair. And I'm like,
yeah.
it's hair, it grows back. And then I went to Hoswell's Green for my birthday this year, and I went
Sure.
to a woman, and like we were talking about Harry Styles. She's like, what do you think about his hair? I'm like, it's hair, it will grow back. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's such a big thing. Like, oh, he cut his hair. Who gives a shit?
I'm with you. Who gives a shit?
It's hair. Anyway,
Hair. It grows.
getting back to you, you wanted to live your life. You rocked a bob
Hmm.
after The Sound of Music. Marie inspired
Yeah.
you. So,
Yeah, I
have
did
it.
just kind of like lots of readings and concerts. I did like there was this musical kicking around that I did a reading of called like "Is There Life After High School," which was that Craig Cornelius song cycle that they made into John Weidman started to write a book for, which was really fun and like did things at 54 Below and other Namped and Nymph, just things like that, which was so
Yeah.
fun. And was auditioning and then I went in for My Fair Lady
How
and
did that?
and
Oh, that was very loud. I apologize. How did that come to you?
sounded so normal. How did My Fair Lady come to me?
Yeah.
Oh, through I got like an appointment for it through my agents, and I went in for the role proper and didn't get it. I remember I went in at the beginning, and actually I think I saw Charlotte Maltby there. I saw Ashley Brown there. I saw maybe Soleil Pfeiffer there too. I saw a ton of people there that was like just one of those wild things. You're like, wow, they just everybody's here. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then, no, I think like nobody from that round of people ended up getting it because it ended up being Lauren Ambrose. And that was like in July, something like that, maybe when I first went in for it. And then I heard I didn't get it. And then I heard nothing from that moment on. And then at some random point in November, I got a call that was like, hey, they want to will you be considered for the understudy? And I was like, yep, sure, happily. And yeah, and then so I didn't have to go back in. All of a sudden, like months later, they were just like, okay, here, be the understudy. And I was like, okay.
You were also ensemble too.
Yeah, yeah. I panicked because I didn't go in for any of that stuff. And I learned that Chris Catelli was going to be the choreographer. And I was really, really afraid that he was going to find out I was not a dancer and like that I would be fired or something like that. But it didn't matter. They were like, you just catch the lettuce every night. And I said, yes, I will catch the lettuce every night. And I did. I caught it every night.
Nice. See,
Thank you.
like that brings me back to Lysistrata Jones. Like in that
Oh,
run,
yeah.
did the basketball make it into the hoop?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if we had a hoop.
Interesting. Because
Certainly not in the rehearsal room.
in the
Yes?
script, it says like she makes like the basket into the hoop, like during the
Wow.
show. I know this is like very specific. And not every night was that basket made in the hoop, which is fine.
Of course. Human error.
Yeah, no, it's not even human error. It's just like human.
Life. Yeah,
Yeah,
human. You're right.
yeah.
I did play basketball growing up, so
I
this
think
feels
that's
like
on
something
your
I should.
resume too. Let me see. Um,
Ah!
yeah, basketball 3 years, soccer 11.
Yeah, I was a
So if
soccer
they
kid.
ever decide to bring that Bend It Like Beckham musical to Broadway,
Color Me Keira Knightley. Wasn't it her?
yes, I fucking love Bend It Like Beckham. I
So good.
remember when
We
I
were
was in high
obsessed.
school, I watched that movie like 6 times in one weekend.
Oh, so good.
I
Did you
did.
have movies that you would make your friends watch?
I like how you think I had so many friends.
I know you did. Of course you did.
Yeah, no, I think I remember very specifically it was me and these two girls. One of them I still talk to. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, we would watch Life as a House. And then
Oh,
uh
I don't
the
know.
other girl, she was obsessed with the movie Riding in Cars with Boys.
I
So
don't know
like the
either of
movie,
these.
oh my, again, age. So Life as a House is with Hayden Christensen and Kevin Kline and another actress who I can picture, but I can't think of her face. Jenna Malone is in it. Ted Danson's wife, whose name I should know, but I
Oh,
don't. Ian
Mary
Somerhalder.
Steenburgen?
Yes, she's in that. And then Riding Cars with Boys is Drew Barrymore, and it's actually based on a true
Oh.
story.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And
Okay, I'll
then
have to
yeah,
watch that.
yeah. And my friend and I, this is when like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video was a thing, again, before your time. Um,
I went to Blockbuster. Vermont was
okay,
maybe behind the times, but we had a Blockbuster.
okay, good. Um, oh, I think we tried this twice, but like the two times we rented Step Brothers, the
Uh-huh.
DVD never worked. So she and I to this day have never seen the movie Step Brothers.
Oh
And
my God,
I
that's so
feel like I
good.
can't watch it unless I watch it with my friend.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so
Yeah.
loyal. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so. I think I saw that with maybe my cousins. We maybe watched Step Brothers with the cousins, like one Christmas or something like that.
Yeah. So those like
Yeah.
those two movies I remember very specifically, like watching with them in high school. But no,
Yeah.
I was like I mean, there are some movies that I mean, I was thinking about The Mirror Has Two Faces today because I saw a clip of it on Instagram. Oh my God, The Mirror Has Two Faces, directed by Barbara Streisand, starring by Barbara Streisand.
Wow, I'm a bad person for not knowing that, but
Really?
I
Oh
can't
my
wait to
God.
watch that.
She has this line in the movie she go and talking about like a guy because I'm super single. So if you know any good looking single straight guys, let me know. Um,
Cool.
thank you. I'm
Same.
serious.
Okay.
I'm on Hinge. Hinge is a disaster. Anyway,
Oh, it's dark.
oh,
It's dark.
I think just dating in general nowadays is dark. It's just
Mm,
it's not
yeah.
great.
I just like meeting people in person.
I try to, and it doesn't really work for me. I mean, the last guy I dated,
Yeah.
I DM'd him, but he's a walking red flag, and we don't have to get into it because he's not a good person. Um, he also dumped me with a
That's
text
amazing.
message
That's horrible.
for another woman.
Oh, bye. Bye. Nope.
Yep.
Absolutely not. Unacceptable behavior.
And they're
No.
not even together. So, mhm,
So there.
yeah.
What a stupid decision that was. Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that
What were we
person.
Oh yeah. So she says in the movie, like about what she wants in a guy. She's like, you know what I would like someone who knows me, like really knows me, my likes, what I'm afraid of, what kind of toothpaste I use.
Yeah.
That's what you want at the end of the day.
I know. It is what you want. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Same.
back to My Fair Lady and
Okay, My Fair Lady. Yeah. So then that
speaking of like walking red flags, Mr. What's his face?
Higgins.
Henry Higgins. I will say, like that year of the Tonys, like I fucking love Norbert Leo Butz, but
Yeah.
Ariel Ariel Starchel winning for the band's visit, like I lost my shit. And if it was me giving out the Tony, like if I,
Yeah.
Allison, were the deciding factor of the Tony, I would 100% have given it to Hayden, I can't think of his name, who played Henry Higgins.
Oh, to Harry. Harry Haddon
Yeah,
Payton.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would have given him the Tony for My Fair Lady.
I mean, same. I think he's a brilliant actor. Brilliant genius actor.
Yeah, also
And
bonus, he's on Downton Abbey.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
And a true angel of a human being. I was looking through old stuff and I found he had sent me this Marco Polo when I was on vacation and that was like, come back, like he was being very, but he's so sweet and playful. Like he's such a playful actor and his wife is lovely and they have
Yeah.
such a beautiful family. And I adore them. I want nothing but good things for him. He's spectacular.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he came back to
Season
the
one.
Beaumont and did what is it?
Flying Over
Flying Over
Sunset.
Sunset.
Yeah, I saw that. I did an early reading of that. That was a wild
Oh.
piece. Did you see that?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
And I remember very specifically where I was telling this story to my friend. We were outside the AMC Lincoln Square,
Sure.
explaining to her that there is a scene in the musical
I
where
can't
Carmen
wait.
Cusack's character is looking through bushes for a decapitated leg. And I said, it sounds like I'm making this up, but that actually
It's
happens in the
real.
musical. And then also Tony Aspach is doing a song about being like a rocket penis. It was
So good.
wild.
Oh man. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It was wild. God,
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
And I
Oh,
actually,
so
a friend of mine who I know from like working in the theater, she was working box office, so she actually gave me a better seat. Yeah,
nice.
so I was
Very nice.
like whatever, like I think my seat would have been like a premium seat, like dead center orchestra.
Oh, beautiful. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Nice, 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 nice. Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking of
Wild.
Vivian Beaumont and just like I'm waiting. I am waiting for that Lincoln Center to announce when the South Pacific Revival concert tickets are going on sale.
Oh, is that happening?
Do you not know? I forgot about this,
Oh,
and then I was interviewing somebody who's doing the concert, and I was like, "Oh shit, I
who?
forgot." It is the Revival with
Who's
Kelly
doing it?
O'Hara,
Yeah.
got Danny Burstein, which I need to talk to you about working with him because I adore him. Um,
I love him so
Noah
much.
Weisberg, just like um my God, Abla Letter Sayers, I'm butchering her name. Yeah, so it's like the cast, Matthew Morrison. So it was the revival from like 2008, 2009. I think it's 2009. The South Pacific revival that they did at the Vivian
Yeah.
Lincoln Center. They're
Yeah.
doing a reunion concert of it in December.
Oh my God.
That
In
was the longest
December.
anticipation, December 9th. Yeah.
Wow, that's coming up. I can't believe I don't know this. This is wild.
I forgot about it too. I was like, oh shit. And now I'm just like waiting for the email to come out saying when tickets are on sale. Cause
Get
I
us tickets,
somehow got like
please.
a free Lincoln Center membership for a year. I don't know how that happened. But
Amazing.
yeah, so I'm just like waiting so I can get my
Totally.
ticket and go.
Yes. Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. But
I think
anyway,
I
let's
applied to.
sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
nah,
No.
I don't know what I'm saying.
You applied for something. Did you apply to like be in the concert?
No, it wasn't that one. There was like a lottery for a different reunion. Maybe the Piazza one. No, was it Piazza? What did they do semi recently? A couple months ago.
I don't know, something I didn't go to. Oh wait,
um,
no, they did Vanya Sonia Masha Spike.
yes, yes. I had like I could still get into my link ticks, and so I think but they weren't. You couldn't buy tickets, but they were like you can submit for this drawing if you want to like whatever. And so I did, and I lost. And that's the end of that story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny
Yeah.
because
Oh
you
well.
mentioned the Piazza concert, and
Yeah.
I always, because where I live, I'm not that far from Lincoln Center.
Yeah.
Um, I was walking home and I overheard a guy being like, "Yeah, I saw this concert tonight because I have a membership. I just went." And everybody around me was crying.
And you're like, I know where you've been.
I was like, "Well, no," because he's like, "Yeah, I saw this light in the Piazza thing." Because we were all,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it was incredible. Kelly O'Hara got like a solid 2-minute applaud after Light in the Piazza. I can't
Oh
remember if
my
it was standing ovation or not, but it was like a solid long.
gosh.
She kind of like sat up and did like one of those bows, and like Matt
Oh,
was crying, and yeah, it was.
she's magnificent.
I love her. There have been times where she has walked by me and I have cried. Um, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
she
What's the
seems to just radiate good things. Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
back to you,
incredible.
Beaumont, My Fair Lady. So, what was it like understudying for Eliza? And
Yeah.
then you ended up being the alternate, and then there's another Eliza who comes in. Like, does your performance change because there's a new person in the lead role, or did Bart give you the freedom to kind of do your own thing with the role?
I think I got a fair amount of freedom, which is really wonderful. I definitely started in Lauren's. I it's like you are a puzzle piece, right? In this thing, and like you get put in when somebody can't be there, like when they lose the puzzle piece, you become the new puzzle. And so you have to fit a lot of the thing. You can't like totally do
Yeah.
your own thing, right? But there are certain ways in which you can color your performance that feel genuine to yourself and not just like you're doing a carbon copy of somebody else. And I would say in the ways that they could give me freedom, they did give me freedom, which I'm so grateful for. And it's so wonderful to feel trusted in that department, and also to work with actors who are not like don't fuck with my performance. Like Harry would love it when other people would go on because it would be new and it would be exciting, and he trusted himself and the story and the people around him to tell the story, that like it was just fun when new things would happen, and not like some people can get territorial, I think, in that regard. But no, Lauren, I loved Lauren. I know people have lots of opinions about her, but she was so, I just really appreciated the way that she went about the story, and really so thoughtful and intentional. And she worked so hard. I mean, she was incredible when she didn't miss a single show until like the Tony season, and she called out one weekend, which is when I got thrown on. And at that point, yeah, like you were saying, I was an understudy, but I was not an alternate. And then after the Tony, she went down to doing 7 a week instead of 8 a week, and they gave me Sundays, maybe Sunday matinee, maybe.
Yes, I think it's Saturday matinees, and then you did Tuesdays.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. That's
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
If you
Great.
ever need to
Yeah.
know about your life, just go on Wikipedia. It's all.
That's so, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, and then I would do that one performance, and she would do every single, she never called out again. Once when she was doing 7 a week, she's a workhorse. She's unbelievable. And I love her, and I love her children. I love her husband. She was wonderful. And then when Benanti came in, it did change a fair amount, you know, in all the ways that Lauren is incredible. She like is not of the theater world necessarily, and in a way that like Laura Benanti really is of the theater world, and like knows how to lead a company and knows sort of like the dynamics of backstage. You know, like she really knows that, you know, she would come over and announce, you know, like, this is your half-hour call, you know, like, and say silly things, and like she led the company in a different way. Like Lauren led by sort of example with her hard work, and Benanti led with like such just a different brand of leadership that was so buoyant and wonderful. Yeah, and things did change again, like by nature of the structure. Like there were some things that we took out for like safety reasons for Laura Benanti, and I couldn't then do those if I, you know, wanted to. I had to like not do certain things, but yeah, they didn't make me change too much of the performance when she came in, which was very nice of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you have a red wig in the beginning? Because one of the photos looked like you have red hair.
Oh, no, I always
Or am I
had,
thinking- Okay, always blonde?
they're always blonde. Yeah, it's very warm blonde, but like,
Okay. Well, no, it's
yeah,
just one of
no.
the photos. It just like your hair looked red. So I was like, is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Because I know
I
you were
want the red wig.
blonde.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
I did wear Ambrose's. I always say their last names because Lauren and Laura are so close.
You can say Ambrose.
But
All good.
Ambrose's costumes for a while, which was funny because I am much taller than she is, and so it was like,
Use your
this
own
is
costumes.
not at the beginning. They did eventually. I had my own set, but at the beginning I was wearing hers, and man, you could just tell that they were not necessarily for me. I was like, I got like maybe 2 or 3 inches on.
But
on
at least you
Ambrose.
had your own wig, I hope.
Yes, I did. Yeah, yeah. Well, they used the wigs that I was wearing in the show
Oh,
for my
and they
ensemble.
styled it differently?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, look
yeah.
at
They're
you.
so resourcul. They're amazing over there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
they're incredible.
fucking Lincoln Center.
Yeah, amazing. I
Yeah.
loved it. What a
So
blast.
one South Pacific here. I'm South Pacific on the brain. One's My Fair Lady. What was also like performing at the Tonys?
Oh, it's amazing. I loved it. I had a quick change on the Tonys. Isn't
Oh
that
wow.
insane? With Dell, I love you, Dell. Yeah, that was insane because I was a maid for I Could Have Danced All Night, and then I ran off stage and changed into my like townsperson wear and did the thing with Norbert, Get Me to the Church on Time. Anyway, I loved it. The Tonys, like I do a fair amount of teaching, which I really, really love,
Oh,
and
we'll
I
talk about
often get.
it.
Ah!
We'll talk about it.
Stop. But
Cover
you'll get asked.
everything. Don't worry.
You're so amazing. I get asked like, you know, like what's it like to be on Broadway? And it's amazing, but also it's work. Like it very quickly becomes like a thing that you are responsible for, and a like for me a standard that I was like holding myself like, you know, I want to be physically ready and vocally ready. Like becomes very much work in great ways. And performing on the Tonys like feels like performing on the Tonys, and it never it feels like the thing that you want it to be, and in that way it's just like so amazing. It's like cloud nine. It's crazy for me.
That's amazing. So once that's done, wow, I almost said South Pacific again. My Fair Lady.
Yeah.
I just need to know when those tickets are going on sale. When
Somebody tell her.
how do I know? I'll just like text someone I know who's doing it. I'd be like, do you know?
Perfect.
They don't even know. We talked
Danny.
about it. He doesn't know.
Ugh,
I think his
come
show
on.
is over by now. I'm like, oh, no, what's up? When's this happening?
Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
What's up? Um, what happens after Bye for a Lady? Like, what are you back to auditioning? Are you doing more concerts and readings? Because I know you
I'm
do a
like,
fair
what did I
amount.
do?
Well, we're gonna get to Unknown Soldier because you did it
Okay.
twice, which is great.
Yeah,
You also got
I
to work with Judy
know.
Kuhn. I just like when I saw Assassins, I was
I
like
didn't see it.
such a Disney, listening to Disney music whilst working. And so
Yeah,
I turned to my friend, I'm like, I just want to hear her sing the Colors of the Wind.
I know.
Or like Once Around the River Bend. That's like all I want. And she was incredible.
Totally.
Assassins was really,
She's amazing.
yeah.
I adored working with her. I say that I'm just so lucky. Like I truly have not had to work with too many people who I haven't loved. But there's so many great people, and she's one of them.
You
She's so
can tell me off
spectacular.
podcast who you didn't like. It's fine.
Okay, love that.
Yeah. I always tell a
She
story about how there's this actor who was such a dick to me at a party, and I never have said who it was. And then I was interviewing somebody once, and as soon as we stopped recording, they said, "Who was it?"
ah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna reenact that when we're done. I want
Okay,
to know who
great.
it was. Um, she's so beautifully and hilariously to me unaware of like how of who she is to us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, my sister Eilish, but we have like pictures of her like sitting in a cardboard box, like pretending to sing Just Around the River Bend. Like, like it's so formative. But
Yeah.
it sort of is like, obviously she knows she did it, but she's not like totally aware of like what her voice is
Yeah.
to me and us. Like, it's just
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Did you
She's
see
so
Titanic
wonderful.
at City Center?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a sucker for a big score like that too. I loved it. And she was fabulous with Chip. That was so beautiful.
I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna go see it, but then I found out my friend was gonna be in the show, and I was like, well, no, I gotta go see it.
Who
And
is it?
Brandon Contreras.
Oh, yes, I know Brandon.
That
Oh,
night?
did you go to school together?
Mhm.
Ah, okay, yeah, so did we. We overlapped.
Oh yeah, he was a wee little freshman when I was a senior.
Oh, oh my God,
So
amazing.
I've been like a huge supporter of them for like the 14, 15 years that I've known them.
Yeah,
Just
they're amazing.
oh yeah.
I've been running into them a lot lately and I'm obsessed.
Oh
Of course,
really?
I
If
have
you
always
be
been.
like,
Yeah,
oh, I did this person's podcast. She's amazing. Okay.
I will. Oh,
I
I'm
went
sorry,
and I
I'm
saw
sorry.
them in Titanic, and I just had like the biggest
Same.
like I'm also an inner gay man. I just had like the biggest like gay man moment with him, and it was great. We bumped boobs. It was amazing. But
Oh,
I have been bothering them for years to come to my apartment so I can like give them clothing that I have. And during Titanic, I finally forced them to come over, and
yes.
they were on both the rest, but they left with a bunch of clothing.
Working two jobs overtime.
Yeah.
Wild. That's amazing. Oh, I love that. Oh, yay,
I
Brandon.
live 5 minutes from City Center. Come to my apartment between shows, and I'm going to give you all of the clothing, and you're going to try on things,
Love
and
this.
it'll be great.
Perfection.
It's like a fantastic jumpsuit that I kills me that I can't fit into anymore, but it's okay.
Jealous.
Yeah, the
I love a
jumpsuit is like
jumpsuit.
1970s meets like a drag queen.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I lost weight, so I can't
Fabulous.
do it anymore. So it's like a size
Yeah.
too big. I mean,
Ah.
I lost weight.
Oh no.
But
Yeah.
seriously, like that one jumpsuit kills me that I had to get rid of, but it's okay.
Yeah. You couldn't tailor it or something. It's too late
Maybe,
now. It
maybe.
belongs to somebody else.
It's Brandon's,
Yeah.
always was going to
It
be Brandon's.
has another life.
It does.
Yeah.
So,
That's
okay.
nice.
Judah Kuhn, talk about
Oh
Unnamed
yeah. What?
Soldier. Am I saying it right? Yes.
Unknown soldier?
Yes, thank you. So, how did that come?
Yeah.
There's also a cast recording too, right?
Yeah, there is. Oh man. Yeah, I have such fondness for that show, obviously, as I have for everything, but it um yeah, how did that come about? I mean, the like crazy story of that is
Yeah.
the full story, I
Yeah.
guess. I'll tell the full story.
Yeah.
Is my best friend from Summerstock, crazy enough, had just broken up with her boyfriend of many years and they had planned a trip to go to Japan together. And she invited me to go on the trip instead when they parted. And how do you say no to that? You have to say
Yeah.
yes. Like, how
Yeah.
often do you get to go to Japan? Yeah. And so I said yes. And then I was in final callbacks for The Devil Wears Prada. And this would have been like the 2019 times. Obviously didn't get it, which is fine. But I had to change my Japan
Were
trip to
you,
come.
was it for Andy?
And yeah, for
Okay.
the Anne Hathaway character, yeah. And I had to change my trip. I just shortened my trip to Japan to come back in time for my final callback. And I was like really upset about it because I just like, of course I'm gonna do what I need to do to get the job, but I also just like it. I have a thing about like you also have to live your life.
Yeah.
Like I know that, you know, the lore of missing things and not being able to go to because you're in, but I just it bothers me. And I think that we should be able to live our lives and attend weddings and go on wonderful trips and still be able to do this job. So it was hard for me, but I did it. And because it was so hard for me, I had an audition that came up in the middle of the week I was supposed to be in Japan for this thing at Playwrights Horizons called Unknown Soldier. And I was like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm in Japan. I'm not going to Japan. I'm doing it, you know? If there's another round, if there's callbacks, I'll gladly go in at that moment in time, like whatever it is, but I can't, no.
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying no, but I had to say no. So I land and my agent calls me and is like, you know, I knew that they were really concerned about my being ready. You know, would I have airplane, you know, would I feel well? Would I be jet lagged? All these things. And I scheduled a voice lesson in the morning and yeah, I'd done a good thing. So they were calling me as soon as I got in the cab home and I was like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine. And they're like, okay, great. They want to just offer you this Unknown Soldier read because it was just a reading at the time. And that'll just like serve as your audition for the piece. And I was like, okay, that's great. So that's how that happened, which is insane. And we did this like 29-hour reading sort of at Playwrights of it. And the music is stunning. I love it. It's Michael Friedman. And it's really, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not as well versed in all of his material as some people are, but it sounds to me so special and so unique. You know, he's so known for these monologue songs where he just takes a text and just sets it to music in this beautiful way. And those exist in Unknown Soldier. But then he also wrote these like lush, soaring, gorgeous, you know, romantic, golden agey songs that are so beautiful that because my character lives in the past gets to sing. And so that was a total gift and like blessing from the universe, or you know, kind of a thing, which was so magical and wonderful. It's where I met Tripp and Danny Goldstein and so many, you know, wonderful people.
Yeah. So that was in 2020, but then cut to
Yeah.
this year at Arena Stage. You
Yes.
and who was
Yeah.
it? Harry Sherman, who did it with you.
Yes.
He came back, same director. So did you just get a call from Tripp and he's like, hey, come do this show again?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, I think they told us it was happening. They sent us all an email that it was like that they were, you know, working on it because the pandemic shut it down. We you know, Playwrights has a ton of previews, so we had done some shows, but we opened on March 9th. We had a day off, and then we played one show, and then it was done. You know, we closed on March 12th, which is just like totally heartbreaking as like especially like some weird. I don't know what people believe, but sort of freaky, like, you know, Michael was taken away too soon by this deadly virus. His show was closed too soon by this deadly virus. There's just a lot of weirdness happening there.
He worked on Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I wasn't in the city at that time.
Oh my God. I saw it 5 times. I fucking loved it.
You loved it. Yes, I had friends who like went, you know, traveled to New York and were like, we saw this really, you know, weird show and we loved it. You know, they're like, you know, would have seen 42nd Street, but instead saw Bloody Bloody.
My old roommate and I saw it on Halloween one year. Yeah.
That sounds like the right move.
Yeah, it was, oh God, Benjamin Walker.
Oh yeah, so good.
Anyway,
So good.
so pandemic.
Michael Friedman. Pandemic happened. Yeah, they sent an email and, you know, some people were busy with other things and that kind of thing, but, you know, they just let us know it was all happening. Some people sort of said they had aged out. You know, sweet Estelle Parsons, who played the grandmother when we were doing it at Playwrights, I think it just felt kind of insane to ask her to like uproot her entire life. She's 96 now. You know, she's like up there in age. And not a nearly 100-year-old woman come live in DC for 3 months by herself. That feels
Not
like
really.
not the right move. Yeah. And you know, with Judy playing it, it gave them so much more freedom to explore that character in ways that they like couldn't with Estelle. Like they added this heartbreaking scene where we were hearing about things that were happening with the grandma, but with Judy we could see them, like where she falls. She's like sort of in a daze, like dancing to this thing, and then she falls down, which you know you can never ask a 96-year-old woman to
Yeah.
do, but you can ask Judy Q to do because she's young and spry.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there were some really beautiful moments with Judy that was lovely. Yeah, it was so nice to get to go back to it, and we recorded the album in the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we recorded it like a year after we closed, which is so wild.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the things you did during the pandemic.
It's one of the things.
So let's talk about some regional stuff because you did
Ooh,
Doubt, which I fucking love. And
great
you,
play.
oh my, did you see The Last Revival?
No, I'm a bad person. I didn't see
Okay.
it.
Do you think he did it?
To me, it depends on who's playing the part.
Yeah. Did you
Do you
see the
think that there's
movie?
a right answer?
Did you see the movie?
No, I've never seen the movie.
Okay.
Isn't that awful?
Let me get comfortable in my chair because
Okay,
I'm
can't
working
wait. Me
from
too. I'll get
home,
comfortable
so
too.
I'm on my desk and I
Okay.
forget this chair. Sometimes I feel like it goes down. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna have a snack
oh,
while you do it.
I'm gonna get my hot priest mug out and take a sip of water.
Hot priest, pun intended. Okay.
He would be a good. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. He would be a really good Father Flynn, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Anyway, don't remember if Leah Schreiber had long fingernails. I did look for that. Anyway, well, because he has long fingernails. They say he has long fingernails in the play.
Right. Yeah, I know, but
I saw the original production, but I didn't see the original cast. I saw the replacement cast. Anyway,
oh, okay.
um, the playwright wrote and directed the movie. I feel like the movie, you know whether or not he did it. In the play, I don't know.
And did he do it in the movie?
I'm leaning more towards yes.
Okay. Okay.
But in this, like the original production, I had no fucking idea. But this last
Mm.
production, I think they were more leaning towards the yes aspect, but I still think
Mm.
it was like an I don't know. And there's
Yeah.
a scene between Father Flynn and Sister James where he's like convincing her that
Yep.
his innocence. And I was even talking to a woman about this the other day who I met like a new best friend after like at the Hills of California. And
Amazing.
yeah, she likes theater and Disney. I'm like, oh, if you were a straight man. Um, no, seriously,
That's amazing. If you were a
no,
straight man, it's amazing.
no, my cousin said to me once, she's like, why don't you find, because I also love Disney, and she's like, why don't you find a guy who likes theater and Disney? And I said, who, a gay man? Like, hopefully they exist, a straight version of
I
that.
love it.
Anyway,
They do. It's gonna
uh,
happen.
yeah, from your lips to whomever's ears. Why can't I think of things? Shit. We were talking about it.
Doubt.
Yes, and
Oh
I
yeah.
was saying that the scene in this particular production with Leah Schreiber and Zoe Kazan and Amy Ryan, he was such like I would remember watching and being like, "Oh, he's such a sly fox in this scene right now. How he's playing it,
Oh.
like sly. I don't know, maybe because I watched a lot of Law and Order SVU, but I was like, there's like slyness
Yeah.
right there.
I would love to see a production that argues for him not doing it. I feel like we always lean towards he probably did it because of the nature of like all of the news, you know? Like it feels like that's probably, and why are we telling the story if he didn't? It feels like a
And
little bit like
also,
that.
I think the whole purpose is like you don't really know whether or not he did it. And like even
Right.
what's the other character, not the other nun?
Aloysius?
Yeah, Sister Aloysius. Her line at the end, she's like, I have doubts. I have such
Yeah,
doubts. Like she's even doubting herself at the end of the show.
totally. I
So
feel like, yeah.
yeah, no, go ahead, please.
But yeah, I just feel like it would be more interesting to really try to convince people he didn't. I don't know, not more interesting. I didn't see
Yeah.
this production, but I would be so interested to see a version where the director is making a statement that says like, the director has decided this priest did not do it.
Well, in your
I'm just
production,
curious.
remind me if you said you think he did it or not. I know you said, and I can't remember.
I know. I think because I get a little of the woo woos. Because I was Sister James. I think I was like he didn't do it. Like I had to sort of go with the vibe of he didn't do it. But I think I'm not sure what our production said. If that makes sense.
Well, I remember when the original production came out, the actors were the whomever played Father Flynn said the only people who know whether or not he did it is the actor playing the part, the
Yeah.
director, playwright.
There you go.
So
Love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
had long fingernails.
Man.
Did your Father Flynn have long
Oof.
fingernails? Again, it's in the script.
No, I know, but doesn't give you the heebie-jeebies when you hear that? No,
I mean,
you don't have that.
it's a play, and I'm an audience member. I'm not looking at him every day. I really
But you know when
wanted,
there's some things when
yeah,
you hear them that you're just like, ooh, that gives me chills. Like to talk
yeah.
about his fingernails.
Look, no, now I'm like, like when I think of that guy who dumped me, I get, ugh.
There
Anyway,
you go.
ugh.
There we go.
Um, what was I going to say about Doubt? I don't remember now, but
Brilliant play. So
yeah,
happy to have done it.
I also got to meet Leah Schreiber after because I normally don't really see
Cool.
her anymore.
Sure.
But talking about like theater going experiences as we were earlier before I think we started,
Yeah.
I saw him do talk radio on Broadway. And I
Huh.
just remember saying to myself, oh, so that's what acting is. So I like met him after the show and I got to tell him, and I like almost started to cry because I'm a nerd, like how much that like him and that show meant and how like I have a podcast and I tell people how it was one of my theater going experiences. Like, all this.
Oh,
He was
that's my
lovely.
them.
He's so beautiful and sexy.
Ooh, that must have been. As much
He
as
was,
like famous people get that, it's all. It must be nice to hear that you had
oh,
that sort of influence on
he was
somebody.
fucking lovely.
Oh, good, good,
So
yeah.
lovely. Yeah. Unlike that
Nice.
guy from that
Oh,
party that I will tell you after.
can't wait. How
Yeah.
exciting. Ooh.
So let's talk
Yeah,
really
wait.
quickly about because it is coming to unless you don't want to talk about Cult of Love.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about it. Berkeley Rep,
In
what's
what
up?
way do you want to talk about it? Yeah.
I don't know. Talk about you doing it. We don't have to talk about anything else. How did that come to you? So explain to me what the show is because it's about like a very religious family. Or what is
Yeah,
the show?
it's about a family at a Christmas party, and a family that contains people of lots of different perspectives. And yes, there is sort of like a very religious bent, but we don't ever really say like sort of what religion. We know it's some form of Christianity, but like not, we don't identify exactly. And I don't know that the family even identifies exactly, but that this family that is quite dysfunctional and like one of their children brings their wife to one of their daughters brings their wife to this Christmas party, and sort of the ways in which that is super disruptive to that family's belief system and the way that they live their life. And it's very based on Leslie Headland is the playwright, brilliant playwright. It's one of her Seven Deadly Sins plays, and this one is called Pride. It's the Pride play. It's called Cult of Love. It's the Pride play. There we go. And I think the title really refers to this sort of family mentality that like we should all love each other because we are family, and like what that actually means to love a family member and to love somebody. Yeah, and the ways in which like that can be interpreted by different people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
How broad of me, but yeah.
No, that
Brilliant
listen,
play. Everybody should go see it. It's a brilliant play.
I want to see. I mean, no offense. What a cast. But
That's brilliant. Sorry, yeah, that's
yeah.
great. Yeah,
You could understudy. You don't know. Like it could
I
happen.
don't know. Who
Listen,
knows?
just text Trip and be like, "Yo, what's up? We worked together twice. You directed me in Unknown Soldier. You directed me in this. Like, I'm
Yeah,
available."
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. Well, it could be more heartbreaking to understudy than to let it live somewhere else. But yeah, I know. It's so great. Some of our cast from Berkeley is in it. on Broadway now, and I'm so happy for them. They're going to be wonderful, and yeah, it's going to be
Did
great.
your character go a little La Cucaracha? And I only ask that because there is a photo where it looks like you are going a little cray cray.
Yeah, you mean, am I like standing on a couch and screaming at somebody or
Oh
something
no,
in that
like
picture?
you're
Oh,
like huddled or something and they're like holding you on the floor.
wait, where does that picture exist? I want that picture. Yeah,
On
my
your
character.
website or online somewhere? I've seen it.
Oh, okay, I
It's
gotta find
somewhere.
it. Love that. Yeah, I mean, like, do we have like a spoiler? I mean, nobody can see the play
Okay.
yet.
Spoiler alert. I literally just screamed into my microphone like I think it's a person.
Okay. Yeah, we sort of,
Well,
I
also like,
wonder.
yeah, no, it's fine. You could spoil it because you could spoil it for me and people who are listening, just like fast forward 2 seconds.
Yeah, okay, perfect. But we basically, like, over the course of the play, like, learned that the sister that I was playing has something probably along the lines of schizoaffective disorder and has a real like break with reality, and we sort of learn that maybe it's been a historical thing, and there's yeah some crazy mental health stuff happens there for a minute. Yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah,
And spoiler over.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Uh,
Isn't that insane? No, no.
is
Are we
that a
supposed to
line
say
from the show?
something? No, 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 no. But like there was that Seth Meyers comedy special where he was like, if you don't want to hear this part,
Oh
like
yeah.
just you can hit this button, and then he like
Are you a
says
Seth
something
Meyers
crazy to
fan?
make. Sure, yes.
Oh, okay. No, I just because I was like, is this another thing that's making us best friends?
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I asked because I think
love.
Seth Meyers.
I would say I'm neutral to positive of Seth Meyers. I don't know like I don't watch his show, but I
Fine.
love the day drinkings, love the family
Oh my
Christmas
God.
specials, and loved his comedy specials.
Yeah, it was great. I think does he have another one coming out, or am I thinking of somebody else? I don't
Does
remember.
he have another? That makes sense because doesn't he have three boys? They're all like about the births of his
No,
boys.
he has a daughter. The youngest is a daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two boys and a girl. They're three.
Hmm.
Oh, they must be so happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
It's really sad
Anyway,
though.
yeah, Cult of Love.
Yes, Cult of Love.
That'd be great. Yeah.
So let's talk about a little night music.
Okay.
How did that happen?
I know, so insane. Um, Wild. Yeah. By like people really wanting to make it happen and working really, really hard to make it happen. My manager at the time was kind of like, I want to do this, and like really fought for it all and made tons of calls and cast the whole thing himself and was just like,
Oh,
this is going to be the best, and like, you know, represents Tunic and got Tunic in on it, and he wrote this amazing orchestration, and yeah, it's like by sheer will of a few people and a giant community of people as well,
yeah.
did it happen. But so insane and so wonderful.
How did you get cast in it? Just because it was your manager, or like, do you have to audition? Like, how did
Yeah, no,
like he
yeah,
was like,
because it
oh,
was
hey, by
my
the way, like you're doing this, like, do this concert.
yeah, kinda, yeah, isn't that wild?
Man, your life.
So insane. I know. I'm like, something's gonna happen. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Yeah, wild. But yeah, that was an insane blessing and so fun. I mean, it was like being shot out of a cannon, but like
Yeah.
working with such incredible people is fun.
Oh, and Ruth Ann Miles. There's like a video
Yeah.
on playbill.com of the two of you singing.
Yeah, Ruthie. I love she was in the reading, like I did a little workshop with Vicky Clark after Piazza, and Ruthie was in it. So we got to
Oh,
reunite. It was
wow.
so fun. Yeah.
I'm seeing her in McNeil next week. I'm
Are
excited.
you? I
Yeah.
gotta look into getting tickets. I'm
That's,
sure the link takes it's gonna be $1 million, right?
I don't know. I mean, I used my membership to get a ticket. I said to myself the other day, I'm like, I don't even remember where I'm sitting.
Ah,
Because I feel like if it's a Lincoln Center membership or a you hear me? Oh my God. Like, what is English? Link tick, you're always on the side. And that,
yeah.
like, first time I saw My Fair Lady, I was like, I'm gonna be in the side orchestra. It's totally fine. Bart Sher uses the space really well. No, it's fucking partial view because a part of the set came out in the middle of the stage and you couldn't even see what was happening.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh.
So when my friend and I went to see Laura Benanti in it, we sat like center loge.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw Ambrose and Benanti.
Yes, I did.
Oh, amazing.
I
Okay, just
I
curious.
hate to say that I really don't remember Lauren Ambrose in it.
That's fine. It was a
Like,
while ago now. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I remember bits of Laura, but like I don't remember Ambrose, excuse me. And I
yeah.
it's not like I was just like I was
But Made Two like really stuck out to you though. Made Two, you were like that
oh me
girl.
too. Well, no, because like I knew who you were because I told you before we started. I kind of like I don't want to say like stop, but like I followed your career because it's like, oh my God, this Pace person, Sound of Music. I'm like, oh my God, that
So
person.
fun.
So like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I wanted
Oh,
to have you come on the podcast.
so sweet. I'm so
Yeah.
flattered. That's awesome. But
Yeah.
anyway, you were saying something about Benanti before I became
Yeah.
egomaniacal.
Yeah, I was just saying how like when I saw it a second time, I was in the second loge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember like some of her things a little bit better. But with Ambrose, like on the Tony Awards, I remember posting on Facebook, like, she just showed the world she can sing.
Yeah, I
You know that
know.
Art was supposed to do a revival of Funny Girl, and she was going to be Fanny Bryce. Bobby
Yeah.
Cannavale was going to be um Nick Arnstein.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great casting.
Yeah.
Her as Fanny Bryce is a little confusing to me, but I mean, I think she could do anything, so she can totally do it. But Nick Arnstein, Bobby Cannavale,
Yeah. Here is
that
here
feels great.
here was my pitch for Funny
Sure.
Girl. Shoshana Bean as Fanny Bryce,
Sure.
because I fucking love Shoshana Bean, and Benjamin Walker as Nick Arnstein.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'd see it.
Yeah, I pride myself on being good at casting, so I was like hoping.
Love that.
I also like
Ooh.
re-manifested some people for Ragtime.
Did you?
I did.
And it
Well,
happened?
I said for years I want a revival of Ragtime at the Vivian Beaumont, directed by Bartlett Sher, and I want Joshua
So good.
Henry, and I want Brandon Uranowitz.
Mmm. You got two of them, right? They're both
Yes,
in
and
it.
yes,
Yeah,
and I
no.
had like other people too, and I couldn't like I never decided on a mother. Father,
Mm-hmm.
I like said to Paul Alexander Nolan he should play father.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would
That'd
be
be
good.
great.
And then I couldn't like
Who's
narrow
doing it?
um Colin Donnell
Oh,
and
also
Casey
great.
Levi.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I love Casey.
Which I like honestly, I was like, I never would in a million years thought of Colin Donnell for that part. And it's not saying
Mm.
he's a
No, no.
wonderful actor and
It's
performer. I
phenomenal,
just like
yeah.
didn't even think of it.
God, the last thing I saw him in was The Shark is Broken,
Yeah,
which
me
to me
too.
is so, yeah, it's so funny. Like, for what he's capable of and what he can do for him to do that part. I mean, he was
Yeah.
very funny, but it was just like, that
Yeah.
must be insane. It's
When
so
I saw
interesting.
Gutenberg, Patty Murrin was my producer.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and
Nice. I never got to see that.
so I actually
It looked
went
like
up
a
to and
blast.
Colin was there and I went up to him after and I introduced myself because I worked with him
Oh, nice.
during one of the many readings I did. So he was one of the people
Nice.
I worked with.
Oh, that's awesome. Those
Uh,
readings sound really cool.
yeah, we'll talk about it later. So what let's talk about your teaching.
Oh,
If
okay.
somebody wants to work with you, how do they get in touch? What made you decide to want to do teaching? Where do you teach? What do you hope students get out of it? What type of do you do acting? Do you do music? Like, what do you do? What is coaching with Kirsten Anderson like?
It's. I think I like to really tailor to the needs of the student. If you want to coach with me, you can find me on my website. There's a teaching section, and just shoot me an email. It goes directly to me. So yeah, totally let me know. But I teach a lot for Actor Therapy, which is Ryan Scott Oliver and Lindsay Mendez's company, and for them I teach acting. Like monologues and scene study, and it's rapid fire. It's for their intensive, so it's like 2 weeks. It's crazy. And then I do some teaching for like Rider University. I've done some master classes for them, and for lots of places, like master classes all over. And for that, I'll generally do like more song interpretation and things like that. But yeah, I love it. I think like teaching has always been a part of my life. Like when I was growing up, I was a camp counselor once I was old enough. I taught dance to like tiny littles like you did. Or you
Oh
said
no,
you
I
taught, right?
didn't. I was the receptionist there. I did
Oh,
not.
got it. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Um,
like I was surrounded by tutus giving out costumes. I had kids climbing all over
oh,
me. So yeah.
nice. I love it. Yeah. So I taught dance in high school and then, yeah, actually right after my Fair Lady, Ryan asked if I wanted to teach acting for that summer for that college prep course. They used to separate it out into like college prep and I think they called it New York or Bust, and now it's a little bit more one big sort of grouping instead of separated out like that. But yeah, I love it. I just find it so exciting. It like ticks all the boxes for me in my brain. It like makes me think think hard as I now I'm unable to speak and find, ways to help somebody connect to their emotional life and their internal being and use the text effectively and do all those things. I just love going on that journey. I think so many people have like sort of been traumatized by acting classes. And so I try to create an environment where people feel safe and supported. And so they are able to take risks that don't feel scary, that maybe feel scary, but they feel safe enough to be brave to like face those fears and take big swings. Yeah, I just love it. Like it makes me excited about theater when I'm teaching. Like sometimes, the business is complicated and hard, as we have perhaps alluded to. But when I'm teaching, I get excited about it again. And I think I love watching that happen. I love watching people make discoveries, saying a few things and then watching like light bulbs turn on is so rewarding. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think this lacks like another creative part of your brain?
Do I think it locks another part of it? What did you say?
Unlocks, I'm sorry, not
Oh,
locks,
oh, oh.
unlocks another creative side
Yeah,
of your brain.
I do. It feels to me not totally dissimilar to you studying acting and then becoming a director. Like it
Yeah.
feels similar in that regard, which is like I am watching, yeah, it unlocks a different artistic part of my head and creative part of my head because not everybody works the same way, like I like to give out like a variety of like chapters from different books on acting and just be like, what speaks to you? Like, let's fill your toolbox with as many things instead of being like, fit this structure. And it's like, you tell me, does it make sense if I tell you like, what's your objective and like, how, what's your tactic? Not to get into the nitty gritty of it all.
You can get
Or
into
do
the
you,
nitty-gritty. That's fine. That's what we're here for. We're here
or
to learn.
oh, I love it. Or like, are you somebody who responds better to being like, this is a Kelly Clarkson song of a scene, and so I'm gonna like do it like I'm Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
How do people? It's exciting to me to help people figure out their way into material um, and then challenge them and push them. I had a great student this. I mean, I've had many wonderful students, which is exciting. But there was this one moment I had given out children's hour, and there's this like line at the end of the play where she's like, "We're terrible people. We're gonna like, whatever, die in this house." And I was like, she just was so serious, and I just said to her like, "Do you believe that you're terrible people?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, then why might you say those words?" And I would just like watch her be like, oh my God, blah, 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 and just like the wheels start turning, the light bulb, and it's so fun, it's so rewarding. I don't know, I love it. It's
Would
great.
you ever direct?
I'd love to direct. Yeah, to direct.
It's
I'd
okay.
also
I
love to be
got
able to
a spoken
speak. Yeah.
preference the entire podcast. It's fine.
Yeah. I would love that. I feel like it's a little down the road for me. Like, but I would love that. Yeah.
Do you have any like
It's on my
any
mind.
idea in your head of what you would want to direct?
No, like not yet. I feel like something will come to me. But I can feel like with the teaching and like having a creative vision, or when I see a show, I go like, why didn't you use this thing? Like I get really frustrated when like a device is introduced at the beginning of the play that then we never see again, or that like doesn't ever come to fruition. It's like, alluded to but never articulated. Like things like that make me really frustrated. And I think those things tell me that perhaps I should be a director at some point in time.
Oh, one day.
Yeah,
I'm doing
yeah.
your fingers. One day.
I'm doing little spooky fingers, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I mean, everybody's like in Halloween spirit already.
I know, crazy. I'm a fall girl. I love the fall, but I'm not a huge Halloween person.
That's okay because you dress up for a living.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's less fun when you do it all the time.
I don't know. I haven't dressed up in years. I mean, I just like wear cat ears sometimes. I do have
There you go.
this exact t-shirt, but it says like boo with little ghosts on it.
That's cute. I like that.
Oh, thank
I
you.
had a little ghost mug.
That's cute.
That's kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're just like, womp womp.
Spooky.
Anyway, so they
I
want to
know, I
work
can't
with
remember what
you, get in touch with you. So
Yeah.
what would you say are your like dream roles and or projects?
Ooh.
I mean, aside from
Ah.
our revival of Light in the Piazza.
Yeah. The revival by the
Listen, I'll
piazza.
just like be like, and here we have a painting by this artist. Come now. I do like a terrible Italian accent, but I enjoy it so much. And my
I
mom's
loved
in
it.
Italy right now, so when I talk to her, I go like, "Buongiorno,
I love it so much. Oh.
ciao bella." Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I
Yeah.
went to Florence after I did it, and because I just had to. I was like, I want to go somewhere, and I took my dad, and I was like, we have to go to all these places in Florence that she talks about. It's non-negotiable.
This is like really sad, but my dream is to like go to Florence, be in a blue dress with a hat, and like my hat fly away and meet like a beautiful Italian man named Fabrizio.
Yes. Yeah, I deeply understand. It sounds fantastic. Yeah. What are the dream? I
Roles
feel like
or projects.
and or projects. Okay, cool. Like I have always wanted to do The Baker's Wife and Into the Woods. I love Dot and Sunday in the Park. Ooh, it
Didn't
turns out
you
I'm a Sondheim
part of
girly.
that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
In front of the
Bridget
painting in
played
Chicago.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. Another like blackout moment. Like I almost don't remember any of it because it was insane to be doing it. I would love to,
You know,
yeah,
I
do it
just had a
again.
moment, like her name is Dot and he paints with dots. Holy shit, why did I
Ding ding
just
ding ding
realize
ding
that?
ding.
Like years later. Sorry, go ahead.
Just a point in his paintings. I know, so amazing. But then like I am a sucker for new work. We sort of were talking about this, that, and I definitely credit that Pace New Musicals with like sort of fostering that. But I would love to just work on something new and fun. Like, I love a folk musical. I'm a big Joni Mitchell kind of girl. I'm a big Brandy Carlisle kind of girl. Like something with music like that would be so fun.
Well, I mean, hear me out. You are a musician, you write your songs because there's something on your Instagram about like you writing stuff. Just saying.
Long time ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, not anymore.
No, I
Okay.
can't. Yeah. Also, I no. Come on, when you like work with enough composers who like actually write theater, you go like, oh, my songs are they're fine. But I'm
Wait,
not
with
a
the
composer.
person? Listen, I'll tell you what. You and I will work on it together. I'll
Okay,
direct it.
great.
You'll find a composer and write with them, and you'll star in it, and it'll be great.
That sounds fantastic. I also love the collaborative process. Is something I learned, especially. I'm like, people have asked if I wanted to do like a solo show or things like that, and like, not no, that sounds fun. I'm way more interested in like getting friends together and doing something, or like working on something with somebody, like writing with somebody, or writing with, collaborating, director, actor, who's to say what's gonna happen.
I've also directed cabarets. I'm just saying.
Hey,
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 hey.
hey.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah,
if
much
you
more interesting
wanted
to
to
me.
like put
Collaborative.
cabaret together with the collaborative thing, like it doesn't have to be like, here's the Anderson and Friends, but like you can just throw something together and just be like
Totally.
look up Joni Mitchell and do it at like 54 below or
Yeah,
what.
I know. It's a little bit in the works. I sort of am trying to do that.
I'm available to help. I always like
Ah,
offer
beautiful.
to people and nobody ever takes me up on my offer, but I live around the corner from 54 below. I've
Amazing.
directed cabarets before. Happy to
I
help.
love this.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
only directed two, but still, I know how to do it.
I've got your email.
You do.
There you go.
Follow my podcast on Instagram. What's up?
What's up? I must do that. Don't I already? Okay, maybe. If I don't, I will.
But no, you do.
Okay, good. I thought I
Because
did.
no, I followed you. I'm like, oh my gosh, you followed me. That's so cute. And
Yay! And then
yeah,
I was scrolling and I was like, I know that person, I know that person, I know that person.
yeah,
So
I'm
fun. I
very
can't wait to go
impressed.
back and listen to all these episodes.
Oh my God, there's so many. My favorite is like the one that has the most listens is when I was in London last year, I interviewed the cast of The Shape of Things at off West End, which is like they're off Broadway. And the
Sure.
reason it has so many listens is because Luke Newton, who plays Colin Bridgerton, was in the show.
Oh,
So I got
sure.
he was one of the people I interviewed.
Wow, there you
Yeah.
go. How
He was
was he nice?
oh my God, so nice. He has
Oh.
I don't remember it, but I like looked back on my videos from when I was in London and in my like on my personal Instagram, on my like only friends or the
Yeah.
one, I was like, he has the bluest eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he
Oh.
was so sweet. And
Oh, good.
I
I
made
like
friends
hearing
with like a
that.
German girl when I was in London, and she was with me when I found out I was interviewing these people. And she's like, "Can you get him to sign the book?" And I was like, "Okay." And
Nice. So you
I
did it?
feel awkward asking
Oh.
because I turned to him
Yeah.
afterwards, like, I'm so sorry I'm asking you this. Can you please sign this book? And he was so nice about it. He like
Of
personally did
course.
it. Yeah, he was
Oh,
very
nice.
sweet. Yeah.
That's good to hear. I like when people are nice people.
Yeah.
I like when famous people are nice people. I like when people are nice in general, but it's
I
always nice to hear that.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Like, don't be, and that's also like my other thing. And I always say this, I feel like almost every podcast, like, don't be an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
it, it's a small industry and
Yep.
like people talk, people know what you're like, especially like front of house people. They talk. I have
Oh
heard
yeah.
many stories.
I
Yeah.
bet. I
There's
bet you have.
when I told you there's a famous Patty LaPorte story I heard.
Oh yeah,
There's
sure.
another story of like somebody in a show who was such a dick to my friend
Oh
because
no.
something that was like out of his control, but she was just like upset about something. And there was this show that was closing, and like the actors were such an asshole, like a
Mm.
bunch of bitches to like my friend who was like the merch manager.
Ugh,
Like, yeah,
man, I
that
hate hearing
way.
that. I just don't think like it's not that hard. Just be a decent person.
Yeah, just be nice. And also, like, that's the other thing too. I was talking to somebody who was on the podcast. I don't know if we talked about it on podcast or afterwards. And they were saying, like, yeah, I did a concert at 54 Below because, like, this person who used to do merch at a show I worked at was producing it. And they thought of me because, like, I was nice to them,
Totally.
you
Yeah.
know?
Like now I'll name drop. John Doyle was our artist in residence at Pace University my freshman year. And he basically said like be kind to everyone. It may not get you the first job, but it'll get you the second job. And I just think that's so true. Like
Yeah.
as of course there sort of will always be those people who are not so nice, but people if you're gonna spend 8 shows a week with a bunch of people. Like you want to be with nice people, and I think that nice, kind people, fun people to be around, hard workers, positive, like those people get hired.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thank God, because it would be no fun if they didn't.
Yeah.
Like it's the
Most, like,
best.
99% of theater folk are delightful.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had an
Totally.
incredible cast for My Fair Lady. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Like me and Cameron Adams, like Broadway royalty Cameron Adams, were just like having a blast, and she's spectacular and so wonderful at everything. Yeah.
And then you told me you shared a dressing room with podcast alum Shireen Ahmed.
Yes, I did. And Heather Botts, she was also in our. I don't know if you know
Oh,
Heather, but yeah, the
not at
little
all, but I'm bringing
trio.
him with you.
She's wonderful. Yeah, I know, so fun. Oh my God. Wait, this is incredible. The
Oh,
sticky note from the beginning of the show. Wow, I can't believe I remember that. I always try to do this because my brain, like you said, just tangents all over the place.
all that.
If there's a story I want to tell, I try to like visualize putting a sticky note like on the wall, and then I try to remember to take the sticky note off. It works. I don't know, 50% of the time. The sticky note, because you were like, I'm talking to my microphone, like
Yeah.
nobody's there. We used to do this. Probably me. I used to do this thing in the dressing room where I would like make faces and talk to the mirror people, which was like very Jim from The Office. Like if somebody was being silly or something, I'd be like, this guy, and I would say it to the mirror
You just make
about
your
like,
face, like,
yeah, exactly, like
yeah.
yeah. Shireen would be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, I don't know.
had my moment.
Yeah. She lovingly put up with me for many a show.
She,
And then became an Eliza cover herself, which is, and
yeah,
I mean, her story is unbelievable. People can
yeah,
listen to your episode, but
yeah. We do talk about it. Yeah.
yeah, what a
Yeah.
incredible story. And
I
yeah.
sometimes will just go on her Instagram and listen to her sing Unusual Way and just watch people in the background, just like, oh, it's so good.
Melt.
We also
So
talked about,
good.
yeah, she talked
But
about like finding a new way to sing the song because I was talking about like her voice is like youthful but mature sounding.
yeah, yeah. I know. I heard part of that conversation. Yeah, she's miraculous.
Yeah.
I really appreciate her as a human.
So let's talk about your top going theater experiences. Because
Okay.
before we started, I did mention The Ferryman, and you said that's like one of yours as well.
Loved The Ferryman. It
How
was
many
so
times
good.
did you see the original cast? Did you see the replacement cast? Or so many questions.
I saw the original cast. I only saw it once.
Okay. I the reason I ask is because I always tell people I saw it a second time and I got close.
Yeah,
And of course, there was like a very tall human in front of me. But
sure.
and I
I was
still,
pretty close. I had some good seats.
oh, that's great. I
Yeah,
was I was still shocked at what happens at the end of the show, having already seen it. And that's like a testament to like how fucking brilliant that show is. And I would
totally.
love to play Caitlin Carney one day.
Oh yeah, God, so good. We did one that was we did Zoom readings, not just like in our living room because we
Yeah.
were bored, and we did the ferryman. And man, are my friends brilliant? Like that's how I felt about that. Like just watching them all be geniuses over Zoom is like I know you've experienced this with your own readings, but it's crazy, and not for anyone, not directed. Like they were just.
Yeah.
But also a testament to the beautiful, beautiful play. The Ferryman was amazing. You were saying you had a moment with Liev Schreiber about
Yeah, when
acting
I saw
because
Top Radio.
yeah, I had a similar moment with Gabe Ebert after Preludes. Did you see Preludes
I
at LCT3?
I did not.
It was the Dave Malloy Rachmaninoff one.
Mm.
Anyway, I was my friend and I were trying to see King and I, and we went to the box office and asked for student tickets. We were idiots. They laughed in our faces. They were like, that doesn't really exist like the way that you think it exists. And they're like, but you could go see the show upstairs.
Though. They used to.
They used to. I know. And I think that's where I was operating on that. From when I was in the city at Circle in the Square, you could just like go to the box office and be like, here's my student ID. Like, can I have a ticket,
Oh yeah,
please?
I went to see aging myself. Reasons to Be Pretty on Broadway, and Paisley's
Sure.
ID was like a debit card, and so I gave
Yes.
my ID, and she swiped the card, and I told her not to swipe the card because that's my ID, and she
Oh
swiped it, so
no.
I had like an outstanding balance on like my Pace card.
Oh no. Oh
Because
God.
I had to like show my student ID, and that was,
Totally.
yeah.
All of your, oh man. Oh no. That's like your like cafeteria balance probably, right?
I don't even, my
Oh.
cafeteria money went away very quickly.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
but anyway.
Anyway, wild. Yeah. Yeah. So, but because they were like, we have a show upstairs if you want to go see that show instead. And I was like, okay. And we just loved it. We were floored by it. So that was like the most, like one of the surprising things for
Yeah.
me. That was so cool. I'm trying to think of other ones. There are so many. It's like when you ask me the question, all of a sudden I can't remember any of the plays I've ever seen.
It's okay. Then you're gonna think about it. You can just post on Instagram, be like, hey, listen to the episode now, like all these shows.
Here's everything. Yeah.
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 What was your first Broadway show?
Oh, my first Broadway show was 42nd Street.
Oh, I've
That
never
revival
seen it.
ever?
Nope.
Wow. I mean, I don't remember a ton of it. You know what show I remember more of that was early in my theater going days was Thoroughly Modern Millie. That was one of
Oh,
my first ones.
nice. I actually
Yeah.
never saw that one either, but it's okay. Listen,
I loved it.
I'm about to make you jealous. I saw Julie Andrews and Victor Victoria. Things like that. Yeah, I think I was like 8 and I was obsessed with it. And I like the movie. I think I have it on DVD
Ah,
somewhere. And Greg
wow.
Jabbar signed my DVD.
Ooh. Oh, that's so cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Julie Andrews. That's amazing.
So,
Wow.
any
Yeah,
other theater going experiences before we move on?
I know. I want to say yes. So many.
It's okay.
I mean, yeah. What have you seen recently that you liked?
What have I seen recently? Hold on. I had to go on Instagram because I always post what I see.
Oh yeah, I
I
know.
mean, Celino v. Barnes is very funny.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Stereophonic. As like I told
Oh
you,
yes. I
started
still haven't
how
seen it. I know. I gotta see it.
religiously listen to that cast recording. But oh, here's one. I saw American Ballet Theater did last year and this year a ballet of like Water for Chocolate. And I
Oh.
fell in love with it last year. So luckily,
Oh.
TDF had like tickets for it again this year. So I went and I saw it again. And I think I
Oh,
saw the same
cool.
two leads that I saw last year. But
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh,
it
wow.
was so it's such a and Christopher Wheeldon, he
Yeah.
choreographed it. It
Oh, cool.
it was incredible.
Wow.
Incredible that ballet.
I love
Let's see.
that.
I mean, it's a
I
hater.
saw, oh yeah, I saw Job
Oh
recently.
yeah.
I
Somebody
loved
told
it.
me it's like you have to read something in the Bible to like understand it because there's like a religious aspect to it. But I don't know how true that
Oh. If I missed that part, if you're supposed to know that, I don't. I think they tell you the part of that story that you need to know.
yeah. Is Job still happening?
Oh
I think
God,
it
I
is.
think
It's still
so.
where
It's
is
on
it
Broadway
playing?
now.
Where is it playing?
It's at the Second Stage Theater, Helen Hayes. It's at the Helen Hayes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just some really, I think, incredible acting. It
Yeah.
was so good. Yeah.
I really want
Um,
to see Oh Mary, but like
I
tickets.
saw Oh Mary. That was
Oh my
great.
God. I
There you
there
go.
did
See, you're
you
just
where did
jogging my
you
memory.
see? Where did you see it? Oh my God. English. Where did you sit?
I sat in the first, what do they call it? The mezzanine, the balcony, whatever the first
Balcony?
up level is,
Oh,
balcony,
the mezzanine.
mezzanine.
Yeah. Somebody's like, you need
Yeah,
to see. I'm like, if you're gonna buy me a ticket, I will, because tickets are
I
so
know. I know, it's crazy. I bought a ticket when it first got announced it was going to Broadway because I was going to try and go off Broadway, and
yeah,
those were crazy expensive. So Broadway
yeah,
was less expensive at the time. Yeah,
yeah.
I know. They just extended,
Festival?
so maybe there'll be some cheaper ones coming up.
It's still
It's
expensive.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's absurd. I know that yeah, we don't need to go into it, but the price of tickets is
We
outrageous.
talked about it with some actors during the pandemic, and like even now, it's just, I mean, even like
It's
I
worse,
love
yeah.
TDF. I'm a TDF member. I
Same?
Hells of California through TDF and like other wonderful
Oh,
groups, and I have my eye on certain. Oh, you're welcome. They
thank
also do
you.
telecharge lottery. Um,
Oh yeah, love a lottery.
yeah, I actually the second time I saw Stereophonic, I won the lottery, and I was row
Mmm.
E center orchestra, and I turned to the people next to me and I said,
Nice.
I will be climbing over you to go to the bathroom. Because I don't play when it comes to a bathroom, especially at the Golden Theater. First time I saw the show, I was second to last row, center orchestra on the aisle seat, left orchestra.
Perfect.
So I can run downstairs to the bathroom.
Genius.
Getting
Yeah,
back to my seat was an adventure,
sure.
but going to the bathroom, first one there.
You
Um,
nailed.
yes. What were we talking about? We were talking about TDF.
TDF.
Even TDF pricing for Broadway has gone up.
I know. Yeah.
It's, yeah, it's so much more money.
So much more. Yeah, it makes it really hard. I mean, I would love to see everything, of course, but it
Yeah.
just like you have to kind of pick and choose
Yeah.
what you can swing.
Yeah. I mean, there's some off Broadway I saw on TDF that I want to see. I want to see like the Big Gay Jamboree or something that it's called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Marla's new piece, right? Titanic
Yes.
and now Big J Gamer. Yeah, yeah,
And I want to see
Big Gay Jamboree.
Vladimir with Norbert Leo Butz.
Oh yeah. Wait a
Drama.
yes.
Yeah, that's on TDF.
I gotta see. Wow, this is good. I'm getting a great
A friend
list.
of mine is in that show as well. Another friend of the podcast, Eric,
Woohoo.
is in that.
Nice.
I feel like there was something else I saw on there. I mean, I say that it's on there, but it could be gone tomorrow, you know?
Sure, I know. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's yeah. I know.
What have you
Wild.
seen recently that has just been amazing?
I don't know. I mean, I really did enjoy Job, which I saw pretty
Oh.
recently, which I thought was great. Yeah. Why can't I remember? I gotta like Google.
No, I'm trying to think. I'm seeing the next, like, other than that, I'm seeing McNeil, but the other play that I actually have a ticket for is my friends and I are going to see King Lear at the Shed.
Me
Uh,
too. Oh my God, I'm going.
when are you going? Maybe we're going the same day.
I know, November. No, I'm going November.
Me too. Wouldn't it be funny if
Okay,
we
I'm
went the
looking,
same
I'm
day?
looking. That'd be wild. I love that. Let's see.
Oh, and I am
I
seeing
can
Ragtime.
Oh, I gotta get tickets.
Yeah.
King Lear at the Shed, November 22nd.
Oh, I'm going on the 13th.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
You'll tell me how it is. I got like an email about it and I was like truly like, am I dreaming? Kenneth Branagh is coming to the Shed. I was so confused. And I saw the Ray Fiennes piece
oh
there.
yeah, Riverside between Riverside. No, that's not it. Riverside and Grape.
No,
But I saw that one too.
no. Yeah.
And
I didn't love that one. It was fine.
I understand that. And I saw my friends and I saw the last Sondheim musical that I
Sure, I
couldn't
didn't
get
get to see
to.
that, which was important,
And
but yeah.
then what else did I see? Recently, I saw this play there called The Effect.
Oh, and you liked it? I wanted to see that. It's gone,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah, I liked it, the supporting actress who was the doctor a lot.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, for me, like I know that King Lear didn't get great reviews off like when it was in
Oh,
London, but for
okay.
me, like you're seeing young King George from Queen Charlotte, who's so hot, but mostly it's that I'm getting to see because I missed his Macbeth at the Armory because I had no idea what was happening until like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before it closed, and the tickets were ridiculous. But
Yes.
you're getting to see fucking Kenneth Branagh do Shakespeare in person, like on stage. Like that
I have to. I have to
exactly.
go.
I don't think my
Yeah.
friend cares enough, but I'm like, it's Kenneth
Ugh.
Branagh doing Shakespeare. We have to go.
We have to. 100%. I felt the same way. I was just like, I bought a single ticket as soon as I saw it, and then like the ticket I bought, I couldn't do it, and I called the box office immediately and was like, "Can I move it?" Like you just
Yeah.
you have to go. I'm with you.
Yeah. I think I made
It's
my
gonna be
friend
great.
has a membership there, and she like got the
Oh,
membership to get like the Sondheim musical. I'm like, you have
there
the
you go.
membership, get us a ticket.
Yes. Yeah, nice. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh, we'll
And
we'll
then
talk.
I'll.
Anyway, let's do Inside the Actor Studio questions. Are you ready? Are you
Okay.
Was
Yeah.
Actor Studio still happening when you were at Pace?
No. I
Oh.
mean, kind of, but not like they weren't doing
Oh,
like the
did he
interviews.
pass by then?
I think he was Did he do it up until he died?
Maybe. I'm trying to remember because I
I don't think they
when the
had.
when the podcast first started and I had people on,
Maybe
like
they
I would play
did.
different games with them. Like
Yeah.
I did a game with a friend of mine, like cast this or cast them in this. So we would like pick a name out of the hat and it would be like cast Bradley Cooper in a show or like cast the Avengers
That's fun.
musical with people. So that would, and then
That's so fun. I'd
yeah,
be
I was
so
having
bad at that.
somebody come on and I couldn't think of what to do with them. So we did the Inside the Actor Studio questions. And then like a day or two later, he passed away.
Oh
And
my gosh,
so I was
wild.
like, and she even texted me, she's like, did you see this? We literally just did the questions. I was like, I know, it's crazy. And so I figured like from that day forward, whenever I had somebody come on, I was going to do the questionnaire. And people like doing it. I
Yeah,
interviewed
it's fun.
somebody and they had like limited time. And when I said I was going to do it, they're like, oh. And then we were running out of time. Like, I don't know if we have time. Do you still want to do it? He's like, yes, yes, let's do it. I was like, okay, great.
Oh,
People
that's so
love it.
sweet.
Okay, are you
Yeah.
ready?
Yes. Oh God, I'm
Okay.
scared. Okay.
No, don't be scared. There's nothing scary about this. There's no right or wrong answers. It's whatever you feel it is.
Yeah,
Matata. Like if you come back later and you're like, shit, I should have said something else. It is what it is.
it is
What,
what it is.
whatever. It's
A
fine.
slice of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite word?
You know what came into my head? This isn't true, but I have to say this because it came into my head. I went lugubrious, which is not my favorite word. But
Oh,
I
that I
think
was sorry. No, I was trying to remember why I know that, and then I remembered it was spelling bee when he's like, look
it's
up.
spelling.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, which is so embarrassing. No, I think my
Embarrassing
favorite
girl.
word so good. I'm gonna go joy. Joy is my favorite word.
What is your least favorite word?
Maybe bitch.
Mhm. Like
Yeah.
somebody saying it, or like is it a specific way, or you just don't like the word? You're like Ali Bo's character in the musical Suffs. She doesn't like saying that
I
word.
s- yeah, I
I
still need
haven't
to
seen it
say
either,
that.
and it's fine.
I'm a
Ali
bad
Bo,
person.
Ali Benino, who's in that, another Pace alumni.
Yes. Yes, I know Allie. Yeah, that's awesome. She's good buddies with a friend of mine. Yeah,
Um,
amazing. It's yeah. I don't. I think I find its use like very linked to just negative connotation. Like I have a really hard time breaking it from like when I hear it being used, I still feel like I'm hearing it in context of like being demeaning towards women. Not like necessarily that the person saying it means it that way, but that it's still in the context of what that is. And I have a hard time breaking it from that in my head.
I'm gonna give you something that might help you with it.
Love
Okay.
it.
Bitch is a female dog. Dogs
Yes.
bark is a part of nature, and nature is beautiful.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Uh,
There you go. So
great.
you're welcome.
There you go.
What turns you on?
Passion. Somebody being passionate about what they anything but like really caring about something.
What turns you off?
Apathy. Laziness and apathy.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love wind through the trees. Like in Vermont on a good like hike halfway up a mountain, wind through the trees.
What sound or noise do you hate?
People in pain.
What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Attempt.
Yes.
Kindergarten teacher.
What profession would you not like to do?
Garbage collector.
And finally, as Mr. Lipton says,
Yes, so good.
if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well done.
Here are your students.
That was so
Great.
fun. Oh my God, wild. So
So,
good.
as we are coming to a close of the pod, you can stay on after we're done recording. Is there anything you would like to add, say, advice, questions for me, answers for the people? What's coming up for you next? What's happening with your life?
I love this. Wow, that's so broad. I'm doing a concert at the 92nd Street Y. I'm very excited about that. Um, it's called Cockeyed Optimist, and it'll focus on Oscar Hammerstein.
Oh my God, it's so you were talking about like with teaching and stuff, and
Yeah.
when I interviewed Andy Carl, I told him how I sang a song from South Pacific at a cabaret, and I still have PTSD from it,
Oh
and it was
no.
Cockeyed Optimist. And I just remember, like, I was so nervous because I haven't sung in front of people in like over 10 years, and I was wearing a
Sure.
green sequin jumpsuit, and I remember
Gorge.
saying, "Oh, I just said the word green. I sound nervous. I have vibrato." And then he was like then like it kind of sounded like he was getting into teacher mode, which was like to me so adorable.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was like, oh well, when that happens.
Well, no, he was saying like when he sings as himself, he tries to like it's easier for him to sing as like a character, not as himself. So
Agree.
when
Yep.
he sings as himself, he does get nervous. So he tries to think of like ways to get through, like maybe thinking of a situation or a character or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about teaching, I was like,
Excellent advice.
yeah, I was like, oh, Andy Carl gave me teaching advice too. It was really funny.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. And otherwise, is there anything I want people to know? Answer question I need to answer? No, no. I don't think so. Oh yeah, no. I
Okay,
think here
great.
here we are. We're all just humans
Yeah,
on this planet, doing the
yeah,
best we can. I
yeah. It was
think
nice.
yeah, people just trying to live joyfully and be fulfilled.
Exactly. And if they want to work with you, go to your website, which is
KirstenAnderson.com.
boom. Can I also like
Boom.
DM you on Instagram or like,
Oh, sure, yeah, yeah. I'm on the socials, and
yeah,
by that I mean strictly Instagram.
This
Only
podcast is
Instagram.
only on Instagram.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, you can find me on there. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I wanna be, isn't it Carol Burnett who says like be kind to one another?
I think that was Ellen.
Somebody, no.
Yeah, it
Was
was
it?
Ellen. Be kind to one another.
You know what? She got that right. Be kind to one another.
Be
That's
kind.
what I want to say.
Be kind and rewind. Let's bring Blockbuster
Be
back.
kind, rewind.
Fine.
Yeah.
Enjoy life,
So
all.
good.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on. Like I said, you can stay on once we're done recording. It was so lovely
Yeah.
getting to chat with you for like
You too.
this
Thank you for
long.
having me. What a
Of course. Oh
delight.
my God. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for those listening. And hopefully you fast forward through the spoiler of
Yeah.
Club. It's okay.
By the time it happens, you'll forget what I say, and then you'll just be at the theater and be like, "Oh, right, I remember. I was listening
Yeah.
to a podcast, and that's what she was talking about." It'll be great.
Great. It's wonderful. It's great. All right. Thank you
Yeah.
all for listening. And thank you again for coming on.
Thank you for having me. What a delight.
Sure. Yay. All right. Bye bye.
Yay!